What's Up, Doc?
It's What's Up, Doc. We're back. How exciting.
Did
you guys
back.
miss us?
Give us an iTunes review, please, with some text, if you haven't already.
That would be amazing.
There's some freeloaders out there who are just listening to the product, not reviewing the product.
Nice.
Yeah.
Do you think they're...
Has your brother given us a review?
That's a great question. Johnny Fax.
His
A question for Johnny Fax is, did you write a review?
His episode just dropped where he called in.
Yes, he was very excited about it.
Star is born. Move over Bradley Cooper.
He said, I woke up to Johnny Fax, LOL.
People are saying, I've heard rumors he's got a development deal.
I think so. A
book deal, Johnny Fax Almanacs.
I've called him and he hasn't returned my call.
Really?
So
no
he's more facts for us.
Is he moved on to another show?
I think so. He got picked up.
Really? And I owe you an apology.
Oh no.
Yeah. Remember there were allegations that you were costing me Comedy Store spots.
Yes.
But then you left, and I still didn't get spots.
See how that worked out for you?
It turns out that I'm just that low on the totem pole. It wasn't you. It was me.
But I do like that you were blaming me.
Yes.
Because it's always fun to point the finger.
It would feel better if I knew a reason.
Sure.
Yeah.
But you're looking for reasons in a world that doesn't have reason.
Well, I'd rather a reason than just general indifference.
But there is no such thing as reasons in this business.
That's true. Well, there are reasons. You may not like them.
Yeah, but that nobody gives them to you is what I mean.
Yes,
nobody says, hey, you know what it is?
Yeah.
You know what's happening?
No one says that.
Like I watched I, Tonya. Have you seen this?
I know what. No, I've not seen it.
Okay, but I'm not related to Nancy Kerrigan. All right, don't just knock it off.
You should go with that.
Can you imagine if that was me? I would have taken my skate off and just cut that guy right across the throat.
You would have taken the knee shot. You would not have
said... never went any further. And then I would have went after Tanya's boyfriend and Tanya. Remember, she was like
she was
like
Massachusetts local when I lived there. She was like the pride of Massachusetts.
Yeah, frightening for Massachusetts. But no,
Tanya Harding had a hot boyfriend.
Yeah.
Jeff Galooly.
But wait, I'm trying. Now you made me forget what my point was.
Tanya, watching it.
Yeah, but why? Now see what you did?
You hate
we
your
went
life.
all the way on the other.
What did I do? I didn't do anything. You're the one who led me there.
Oh, reasons. Right. Reasons. The reasons. Nobody knows that song.
No.
Except me. Yeah, of course. You don't have any
Is that
soul.
an Eleanor Kerrigan original?
Yes, it is. No. I hate you. I can't believe you don't know that song. Anyway, I'm old. So, Tanya, she was skating and she was crushing. I mean, crushing. Obviously, breaking records, doing the triple axe, whatever it is. I don't know the word. I'm not good at ice
Triple
skating.
Lutz?
Yes, that sounds right. I know what that is. And so it was like all these great things she was doing, but she didn't have the right costuming. She looked cheap. You know what I mean? Like,
so you're saying I look cheap?
No, she went up to the judges and she goes, tell me what I'm doing. Why can't I get a fair shake? Why are you not judging me fairly? And then she told them to suck her dick, which didn't really work out.
Those words specific?
100%.
Wow.
So funny. And then she followed one of the judges to the car after she had this like amazing, and she got low scores again. And she was like, tell me. And he goes, maybe you're just not cut out for this sport.
Ooh.
And she was pissed.
See, I'm waiting for that. That would be good for me.
But I was like, this is what, like, she was just a poor kid that really had she was really a great skater.
You think I need to take
in a rich man's sport, if you will.
I need to take some sort of
I just
pipe
don't know.
to somebody's kneecap?
I like this idea.
Tell me who it is.
I'm
do it.
gonna get behind it.
Is it you?
I don't want to be involved. It wasn't me.
Maybe I do it to myself to get sympathy.
But I want you to hit the loudest crier. Like, who would cry the loudest?
At the Comedy Store? I mean, you could pick. There's a lot. It'd be a hard competition. It's a dramatic place.
I got yelled at in the past few episodes, not by you, by the clips that we put out, by a certain person saying that I shouldn't wear my hair back.
Oh, wow. I have a feeling I know who that person is.
Do you?
I could.
Are you wearing a bun? Was exactly what he said. And
tell him to promote the show rather than critique the show. That would help. That could help.
I'm going to have him come on and be like, what, is that a bun?
What is he, the hair police?
So angry about it. He wrote like, why do you have a bun in that clip where you're talking about cock. And I'm like, is this a real text?
That sounds like a good combo. Maybe put me in there. I want to get involved. Hope he likes my hair today.
He's going to love your hair today.
Helmet.
I mean, you're going to have to make a clip so that we can have him.
This is my Jeff Bob Duggar look.
That is so awful looking. I mean, it's amazing because you have good hair. You would be like known as like good hair.
I think I'm Becky with the good hair.
Right.
In some communities.
And it styles well, but part it on that side says I rape children.
Well,
is that the way to say it? Probably not, but you know what I mean.
Could be a little
Welcome to the
forward.
episode, everybody.
Could be a little forward.
If you see this part, this is part of my women training group. If you see this part and these pants, run.
Well, you may be on to
Even
something.
if this is your parents.
You may be onto something because there is some proof
Sibling.
to present in a few minutes.
I know. We're both grossed out by this.
We're back to sad summer.
And
But
you picked it.
But I gave you two options, both sad. You pick a sad, or you pick your own, and you went with mine.
Well, I was just like, because I told you this month has been horrendous.
So you can't even pick.
No. So I was just like, fine, this one. Fine. I remember them. I remember that. Like, I never watched it, but I am utterly shocked by how many people watched.
I watched a little bit of it. I was telling
You're a problem.
I was telling the guys
You're
earlier.
part of the problem.
I'm a TLC fan.
Yeah.
But TLC they have some guilt to bear here as well.
No, they have tons of guilt.
But on the show, you're familiar with the hit show?
You're going to bring them up because they showed them. No,
Little
Nick?
People, Big World, not the
Oh.
conjoined twins, which I did watch a little bit of as well.
Jesus, Jeff.
How do they drive? How do you date? You date one? You date both?
You know what it is? Maybe I'm not interested. I have no questions. I'm like,
About
okay.
conjoined twins? You just accept it? You don't want to see
100%.
their life?
Jimmy Schubert used to do a bit about it.
They're
Made me
doing
laugh.
stand-up. Duo.
Jimmy said one was a singer and one wasn't.
They opened for the Sklar Brothers.
I believe that. That'd be amazing. Guys, not just two, but they're together on this.
Does that count? I guess it's two. But they don't have two full bodies. That's the thing.
No, it's terrifying.
But Little People, Big
What
World.
could go wrong in here?
One of the kids, the youngest son, he came out years later saying he was molested by a crew member.
What?
Yeah. Production. You got to watch those production guys over there back there.
Ooh. Let me see your parts.
That's
I'm
TLC.
kidding.
I mean, TLC's, they've made a deal
TLC.
with the devil.
Yeah, they certainly did.
Former Learning Channel, now just the Freak Show.
I like
Network.
how they said the lurking channel.
That was
I
that.
like, that's
that lady was like a
perfect.
professor of reality TV.
Yeah.
It was her title.
Because it's sick. It's a sick world. And then, of course, now a new job is created for this woman to evaluate or whatever. Ugh.
90 Day Fiancé is the new rage. And trust me, that's riddled with issues as
100%.
well.
And they showed that Ed guy. with
Big
no
Ed.
neck.
Yeah. He's a star.
Big Ed.
Pauly Shore's friend.
Why is he big? Oh, I have to tell you.
He calls
yeah.
himself Big Ed because I don't know his height, but he's very diminutive in stature.
Okay.
But he says he has such a big personality
Could he also
that he's
be on?
Big Ed.
Oh, could he also be on the Little People show?
I don't think he's technically a little person, but I think he is probably close. He's on the cusp.
Okay.
I think he's in the low fives, would be my guess.
Yeah. Okay.
He may have like an inch or two on Danny DeVito. I don't know.
Is Danny DeVito a dwarf or a midget? What do you?
I think those are the same thing, but one is a derogative term for it. You can't say midget.
Why can't I say midget?
Just say little people.
Oh God. Little. Okay. Is a dwarf? A dwarf is different than a little person.
No,
I'm going to get us
It's
canceled.
the same thing.
They're exactly the same thing.
I believe.
thought.
Call Brad Williams.
I will, because I thought there
I don't
was a
have his
slight
number.
difference in the terms of the person. A short stature, little person. Dwarf are commonly used in the United States, only the U.S. Okay, I get it. We're the problem.
Well, I mean, there's different languages. It's different. We're not going to list every word
Okay,
around the
fine.
world. Do you speak Tagalog?
Many people who experience dwarfism prefer little people. Okay. But it's the same. So they are that is the same thing. I thought there was difference.
Would you
medically? Yeah.
Would you date Peter Dinklage?
Absolutely. Absolutely. I was in love with that half man. Didn't they call him a half man on the show? I didn't do it.
Half man, half amazing.
So amazing. He was all amazing and half man to me. My mom even was like, I like him.
Whoa. He really made his way through your whole family.
Sorry.
He could date both you and your mom. That'd be a TLC show. That's what they're looking for.
TLC,
Philly,
I'll give you my
mom
number.
and daughter.
At this point, I'm so desperate. I'll give you my number.
They don't have it already?
I'm sure they do. I'm sure I'm on a list somewhere.
I'm doing a show on TLC.
No way.
I got a girlfriend in Venezuela.
Wait, were the Kardashians on that channel?
No, they're Bravo.
Oh, they were just
using
Bravo. Them as an example.
They use them as a template of reality TV.
Got it. Because they are smarter.
They're Bravo, though. They were on when Bravo was on the come up.
Sure. But the Duggards, that's their name, right?
That
Duggards.
is. The Duggars.
I put a D in there. Duggards? Duggard.
It's just an R at the end.
Duggars.
S, yeah.
Duggars.
Jim Bob Duggar. Do you think his name James Robert? And they're just like, you know what?
So.
Let's go with Jim Bob.
But why? This is the thing with big families and that kind of wildness with the two names. You're going to run out of names if you keep naming them two names.
All
like
their
that.
kids, J names, which is.
And my dad wanted to do that with us. The girls,
what
he
letter?
wanted us all K's. This was way before the Kardashians.
Wow.
And we were KK as well. And I was like,
why K?
One letter short, Dad.
You could middle name. Why? Why did he want K's?
You part your hair that way, and all of a sudden you get right into it. You're like,
become a villain.
You start petting a cat.
Why did he want K's?
He wanted Karen, Kathleen, Kelly, Kim. I was supposed to be Kelly. Edie was supposed to be Kim.
What happened?
My mom won.
She said no more. Why not everyone K's though? Why only the girls?
Oh yeah, can you imagine the boys? There's 6 boys.
Kyle,
Kevin,
Ken.
Kyle, Kenny.
Yeah,
it's
run
tough.
out.
But they were all
Kurt.
Huh?
Kurt Kerrigan. It's a dirtbag
Kurt
name.
Kerrigan.
Hey, I'm Kurt Kerrigan.
I kind of like that.
Kurt Kerrigan here on the news.
Maybe I'll have a kid and be like, hey, Kurt Kerrigan.
You should adopt, I think, is what you're missing out.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Are you saying that my eggs are no longer?
Could be a problem. I don't know. I mean, I'm not a doctor.
I'm Irish. I don't think they ever go away.
That's true.
I always.
Your mom's still on the pill, I've heard.
No, my mom had a hysterectomy, but she could still get pregnant,
She's
believe.
still on the pill even in case.
Just in case it sneaks back in.
There are guys who get snipped and then have kids.
I know.
A guy in the NFL who had
Does that make you believe in God?
This dude had like 8 or 9 kids and he got it and then he had another one after. He can't be stopped. Antonio Cromartie.
Hell of swimmers.
Former
Amazing.
Jet. I think he's out of the league now. He better get a job.
Doesn't what's his name have a lot of kids too?
Sean Kemp?
That's basketball.
He's got
like
11.
All different.
The lead right now is Nick Cannon versus NBA Youngboy or in a kid-off.
Whoa.
One has one, then one's like, I better get to fucking.
Are they doing what the Duggars do? Like, hey, we need to take over the world.
Nick Cannon says he just wants like as many as he can possibly have. There's no way he sees them all.
He's a man. He can have them until
the
end of time.
Yeah,
because there is no God, and if there is, they hate women.
What do you think of Nick Cannon's?
They hate women.
I don't even know what you call it. Is it a head wrap or like a turban? Have you seen what he wears?
It's
like
none of my business what he puts on his head.
All right.
That's stupid.
Do you know him from comedy?
I don't. I met him only once when he was very young at the comedy store, and he was doing Fat Tuesday when he first wanted to do stand-up, and Guy Torry put him on. And he didn't do so well.
I remember he opened for Dave Chappelle in the main room. He didn't do so well.
But that room is horrendous.
Oh,
and, I mean, I guess, and I shouldn't say that room. I meant like Fat Tuesday brought in a crowd. No matter what, if you sucked, they were going to let you know it. Big, little, didn't matter. I've seen like giant comics, huge, get booed off that
Traditionally speaking, in quotes, urban crowds
the best
are
the best.
honest. So if they don't like you, they're going to vocally not like you.
So are you saying urban like black?
I'm just saying live in urban areas.
I love this part. I love this part.
This is new PC me.
It's a predominantly black audience. You don't have to say urban. I'm urban too. So
maybe some of them were coming in from the country. I wasn't there to ask addresses. I'm just trying to make it, Eleanor. I want spots.
I get it. But
I want people to know I'm accepting of dwarfs and urbanites, suburbanites.
So I was telling somebody that I used to braid hair in high school, and I would say, I did cornrows to a lot of people, and they go, "Oh, that's cultural appropriation." So I go, "What are you talking about? I've never heard this." What?
You can still go to jail for that.
You for a cornrow?
Yeah, if the case could be opened back up. You may not want to admit that.
I did a lot of them.
Johnny, is that true? Give me a call.
Yeah. No, we'll call my friend Cindy Hepburn.
Cindy Hepburn?
Yeah. Great
related
name,
to
too.
What's her name?
No, she was my favorite. But we
She's
used to
Jewish?
do hair in high school. No, black girl.
Cindy Hepburn.
I mean, I guess you could be black and Jewish, but
it's true.
Look
at me.
We went to a Catholic high school.
Speaking of Nick Cannon, he said some not so great things about the Jews in the recent past.
Really?
That's what I've heard.
Oh, all of a sudden his part goes to the other side of the fire.
Should we get to the Duggars?
Listen, this is going to take all day. So.
We got shiny, happy people.
How thick yours
Oh, I got a dossier.
I'm done.
Semicolon, Duggar Family Secrets on Amazon.
It's awful. If you want to
4
watch
episodes.
I think everybody should watch it. I won't play with the clip, I promise.
I had my main problem with this.
Yelled at. I just want you to know I'm yelling at myself. I just want everybody to know
you
that
hear
happened.
a voice.
Yeah.
The bun, the clip. That's your inner voice, isn't it?
Knock it off. That's not funny, Jeffrey.
Because it's true.
Motherfucker.
My problem with this is I felt too ambitious. They have 2 different topics in this series.
Yeah.
And I thought they didn't really know which direction they wanted to investigate. That was my opinion, but.
No, I agreed because
there's the Duggars, and then there's like a religion they're a part of, and they kind of try to take on both, and it gets a little wishy-washy at times.
Yeah, I didn't
I like the Duggar stuff the most. I was like, get into these, really dig in deep.
Yeah.
But then they would go away from to this guy they follow who's a piece of shit as well.
But that's what I'm saying. But he's not the root. Like,
he is the root.
I guess so, because
he's kind of like Jim Bob's
it's his teachings.
hero.
But there's somebody obviously over him.
It's God.
Well, I know
Lord.
The umbrella.
Oh, you hold that umbrella. Let's get into it.
Was Rihanna a part of this?
She wrote the theme song.
Umbrella.
For the IBLP.
How's that song go? I forgot.
Under my umbrella.
Umbrella.
Ella.
I wonder if they played the
Hey, he played it at this guy was doing huge stadiums.
giant
This guy's one of the best stand-up televangelists.
Spots.
I hated when he would like tell jokes and the whole arena would die laughing. I was like, what a partisan crowd.
Yes. What a partisan. You know what that is, though?
What's that?
That's nervous laughter. That's
what's brainwashed.
At least 30 times, maybe more. I was going to mark it every time I heard it, but somebody would go, where do I start?
Yeah.
And I was like, oh, that's manic. That person is dying inside.
There was a guy at one of the big talks who was training people how to beat their kids. And he was getting huge laughs.
He was glorious.
He's like, here's how you beat your kid, but also praise him at the same time. Bring a volunteer up here.
Volunteer a kid. Can you imagine? And your
bent
parents
the kid
like,
over.
get up there. Get up there.
He bent some kid over. He's barely hitting him. I was like, you're really hitting him.
And then he hugged him.
And he's like,
he goes, give me a hug now.
He's like,
which, by the way, I'd like to press charges. My parents never hugged me after. I got beat up and I was never hugged right after.
That seems insulting to hug after.
Exactly. What
it would hurt. Like, you just hit me.
Fucking boxing? Give a hug.
But he said the kid didn't give him a good enough hug.
He did. He goes, come on back in. Like, I didn't feel your penis on my
Nothing more
leg.
creepy than an adult being like, hey, child, you didn't give me that. Wasn't
You
good
didn't give
enough.
me a good enough hug, you little shit.
Come on back in front of a huge stadium.
Now get back on my knee. And he fucking hit him again.
Yeah.
And then hugged him. Oh,
he was killed. That was his closer for that bit. So this opens with Jill Duggar, who is she's gone away from the group.
Jill?
Jill's an escapee.
Oh, Jill's the daughter. Right.
She's cool now. She has a nose ring. That's her rebellion.
Wait, I didn't notice that.
Oh, you didn't notice the nose ring? She said in the end, like, I have a nose ring now.
Yeah. At the end, right.
She's trying to prove, like, I'm no longer with the Duggars.
Yeah. And I loved her religious Aaron Rodgers husband.
Yeah, she's with her husband who looks very stereotypical.
I thought that was Aaron Rodgers' kid or something.
That's Baron Rodgers.
He's not Baron. If he was, he couldn't get in the family.
They're not, though. They're not cranking them out at a Jim Bob pace just yet.
Because they're fucking smart.
But they're like young
They've
30s.
smartened up, if you will.
Yes.
But also, they're not doing it to like populate a planet to take over.
Are you anti-Duggar because they double your family, eat, and maybe more?
Maybe.
They make you guys look tiny.
Make my mom. Should I call my mom and be like, why were you so lazy?
Yeah, you couldn't have Michelle Duggar
10
it?
kids? You couldn't do 20?
TLC wouldn't even talk to you guys. They wouldn't even give you a second look.
Get on the list.
Although you have a good inner city 10 though is almost like a 20 in Arkansas.
True. Can we merge though? My mom's sister had 10 kids too.
You could do if you all went to one house, like on the Jersey Shore.
I
It
like
might be
that.
something.
Yeah.
Like a 1-bedroom apartment
My aunt does live in the Jersey Shore. Let's see what we can do.
on the boardwalk.
She don't live on the boardwalk, but we could make that happen.
The beginning of this, they really give like a long
It's
overview
too
of everything.
long.
I was like,
Yeah.
why do we need the whole like to show me everything right up front and then go like all right, now let's go backwards.
Yeah.
So then they get into Jim Bob in the clan.
I'm sorry, the name is too good. Jim Bob.
And they had the big show, 19 kids and counting. But they started, I think, at like 50. I don't know. Something.
Does that make me racist if I hear Jim Bob and I'm like,
No.
"Meow."
It makes you right. How's it? No one named Jim Bob lives outside of like the deep South ever.
Okay.
Have you met a Jim Bob in your life?
No, but I did
Neither
meet a
have
guy
I.
named Pork Chop in Milwaukee.
Pork Chop.
Shout out.
You have big sideburns?
No, which was weird.
Was he
but he
overweight?
did have a giant. Nope. Slightly. You know, I'm not good. I don't.
He
see
introduced
weight.
himself as I'm Pork Chop.
Yeah. He had a big giant medal that said Pork Chop on it, like a
What do you mean a
silver,
medal? Like a gold medal?
like a Flavor Flav kind of. He was with some rapper and he said his name and I forgot his name. Sorry, Pork Chop, but we hung out.
Was
a
the
little
Pork
bit.
Chop the rapper or the other guy?
The other guy was the rapper.
What was his name?
I forgot.
Jim Bob?
Yes, Jim Bob Thornton.
They came to a show?
Yeah, a dice show.
Did you meet Pork Chop? His friend's name is Applesauce from the Brady Bunch. That's an old reference.
Pork
You guys don't
chops
get
and
it.
applesauce.
They go back to Jill and Derek Rogers. His name's Derek, her husband.
Rogers?
I made that up. I don't know
Oh,
his
you
name.
son of a.
She's the
I was
fourth.
like, no way. He is Aaron Rodgers.
She's the
kid.
fourth born of the 19.
Yes.
In the show, the older kids were the stars. They're not going to focus on these little
Yeah, four's
rugrats.
tough. That's my brother Jimmy. Four's tough. I remember they made that movie number 4, and I was like, "Is this about you?"
But he's 4 out of 10. 4 out of 19.
4 out of 19 is uncomfortable.
But they have more. I think they have 20 now. Maybe
It was
21?
19 and counting, wasn't it?
Oh, it's always in counting. They're still, as long as Jim Bob can thrust those hips and she can lay down motionless.
What if Jim Bob came to like an interview like limping?
He has ice on his
He's
dick
like
a few times.
He does an ice bath just for his dick, not his hips or anything, just the cock.
Do you think have sex for pleasure, or is this mainly we need to make
Oh no,
kids?
this is all creation.
Okay.
This is creation.
So she's like, Jim, I'm off.
Jim, I feel something.
I talk like I'm a child.
I feel something which is odd because I'm dead inside. But can
have
you
another
put something
kid.
inside me so I feel something?
I'm going to go make some tater tot casserole. They showed that. That was part of one of the shows. Like, it was entertaining. See how much tater tot
We
casserole they
love
made?
tater tots.
Who?
It makes me uncomfortable that I like them so much because I'm like, I am white trash then, huh?
They say it was Jesus' favorite food.
Don't do it. Don't do it. You know what happens. I have an issue and I apologize in advance.
that's true.
I don't have Tourette's or a tic, but for my scarring, growing up, a nun said that if you bow your head when you say the name,
Jesus. Jesus.
you gain so many days grace in purgatory,
Wow.
which I'm sure is true.
Definitely true.
And so even if I was in the middle of a fist fight, if somebody said it, I'd go like this.
What if you get punched,
I don't.
right?
I know. I've leaned into quite
How many
a few.
days have you gained in purgatory?
I don't know at this point.
Oh, great. You're losing days, technically.
I may have.
'Cause you're gaining days of grace.
Calculated out.
Or are you going
Like,
backwards? You're gaining. Okay. Wow.
They're adding them because I'm doing it wrong. Oh, whoever that nun is. Son of a-
Michelle admits that before she met Jim Bob, they met as teens.
Yeah.
That she said, I got mixed up in that boyfriend and girlfriend mess. Because Jim Bob
Oh,
had
yeah,
never
yeah.
dated.
She was like a big hoe.
What a
technically.
harlot.
Wow. She held hands with somebody else. And
I mean, what was she doing? That was, come on. She dated, but I don't think anything was going
this
on.
is the thing with the extreme religion craziness, that it sucks because there is, I know I just talked about bowing my head, but which is extreme. That's crazy. But we also had freedom.
Yes.
You know what I mean? Like, yeah, there's little things that I think about.
You guys
whatever.
could wear they can't wear jeans. These
No.
No TV, no radio.
Nothing.
They had
No
Jim Bob.
outside world.
Yeah, they're living in North Korea. Jim Bob is their leader.
No Wi-Fi.
She said, I talked to Jim Bob when I first met him for 4 hours. That night I got down on my knees. I was like, whoa. And then she said, I gave my life up to God. I was like, oh, it wasn't.
I was like, ooh, this is a good date for Jim Bob.
Jim Bob getting that D suck.
God, he got her on her knees immediately.
He would have jizzed when she unzipped that fly. That guy had never been touched. They introduced Amy King, who's the Duggar's cool cousin.
Yeah, I love her.
Her mom was Jim Bob's sister. She did not like growing up strict, religious.
No.
So she
was rebellious, but not rebellious crazy.
No, but just
like
compared to them, she just lived a normal life.
Yeah.
But she would go hang out with them and be on the show. How good was it when one of the producers was like, you kissed a boy? And I was like, this is a grown man asking like an 8th grader.
Yeah, TLC.
And she's like, yeah. She's like, sorry, Uncle Jim Bob and Aunt Michelle.
And she was so cute about it, too. She was like,
I liked her. She
was great.
She had a lot of personality.
Adorable, yeah.
But compared to these fucking...
She really stood out because you could see she had like a spirit.
Well, she had, soul behind her eyes.
Yeah. It was like,
she was living
okay.
life. She said that the Duggars wore I think she was saying pantaloons.
Pantaloons.
Incorrectly, but I think it's pantaloons with an N.
Oh, what did you say?
The first one has an M at the end.
Pantaloons.
She was saying pantaloons, like fruit of the pantaloons.
You know, they were homeschooled, Jeff.
Yeah,
let's give them a.
So they
imagine how I would say it.
Not only do you have to wear the long dress, but God forbid it comes up to the shin. You got to have those pirate pantaloons underneath
down there. I did not know that people.
All these
wore
rules, and then most danger you face inside your own house.
To be honest, I thought it was a word that my brother Johnny made up because, like, Johnny Facts, you could call in and say if I was wrong, but he would say your pantaloons. Like, he always teased the girls about, like, did you go to the bathroom in your pantaloons? Like, he always said.
Were they wearing them? Were they grew up strict?
They were 15 and 16. No, they were they were babies. They were babies, but he would always say. I think it was Johnny that said pantaloons. I'm in trouble now.
He's working the phones. Right.
I'm kidding.
I have my cell phone on so he can hear the whole show. Live.
Really? I was gonna say I thought he's not even talking to us anymore because he's on the bigger and better pastures. He's a superstar now.
Jim Bob gets in early with old Mike Huckabee. Quality guy.
I remember that name because the comics used to make fun of him.
Huckabee?
Yeah, but I don't do politics, so I didn't know.
Conservative religious guy.
Yeah, and it was always like this was the crazy guy.
Jim Bob gets voted into government. I can't remember what the position was, but Jim Bob heads to the Arkansas state capitol with the family in tow.
Can you imagine? They're all coming in at the same time. And they do walk. They follow them like ducks.
Yeah, it's like a classroom.
You see like a duck cross the street with the family. That's what it looks like.
You know what I saw recently at the zoo? I think it was like a day camp or something.
You saw the Duggars?
Kids on a had like it wasn't a rope, but it was like a rope, and they were
leash.
all in the line though. You got to hold it.
But it's kindergarten. That's what they do to schools. If it's like a school trip,
yeah,
they do that.
But I think the Duggars should have had that. Or handcuffs or something, all down the line.
Can you imagine
to Jim Bob's belt.
Handcuffs, ankle bracelets.
I mean, that's the freedom they had. They were trying to portray that wasn't what it was.
But it definitely was that.
So they get into Josh Duggar. He's the oldest.
Yes.
He's like a Jim Bob clone. Everyone's calling him the little governor or whatever. And
that's a lot. Like, I'm not on his side, but I'm not off his side. Does that make sense?
I'm off his side.
It
is, but he's also a piece of shit.
Of course he is, but he was raised in a piece of shit environment.
Exactly, but I'll make the argument for that later. But he starts a cool group when he's in like middle school called Boycott. What's it stand for? Boys Christian Outreach Team.
That's right.
Why? There's a convenience store down the end of the road. They were
selling pornography.
or alcohol that Jill couldn't remember which. But he
they were
said
selling alcohol.
him and his cool buddies are like, we need to boycott this place.
Dude.
I bet they really made a dent in their business
People
for
drinking
religious
outside. What's
Christian
it called?
fundamentalists. By the way, this guy later bones a porn star
Of course.
while married.
Did you say bones or raped? Because oh boy.
Yeah, so that's what you got to watch out for.
Situations.
It's the Bill Cosbys, the clean
I was
people.
just gonna say the people that yell the most,
Most
like
high.
that. Of course.
And comedians who are like, I've done this, 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 and this. You can trust them. They tell you it all.
That's kind of true. Yeah.
Jim Bob runs for Senate. He loses.
Yes.
But there's a picture of him and all the kids that the media really gets frothed up over. That's when Discovery Health, that's who TLC was originally. They were doing like operation shows.
I completely forgot that. Yeah, that was gross. And people watch those too a lot.
I never watched any of that.
Even the what's the other one? Isn't that on TLC?
Dr.
too?
Pimple Popper?
Yeah.
That's TLC.
See?
Right now they're
How
all
about
like
600-pound
TLC.
Jesus, you people are a problem.
So that picture got Jim Bob a 1-hour documentary about the family. That's how they broke in. They did 5 specials. They were like a comedian.
Shit.
And then they got the show.
5 specials, and then you get your jet.
I had you like Jim Bob's BFF from early child.
Yeah.
His teenage years, Jim Holt. That guy was doing bits, solid bits.
Wait, which one? Because
he did a few bits. He's like, we got 2 kids, and his wife's like, we have 11. It was like, that was good stuff. Good misdirection. But he said his great quote was, he met his wife who kept Bobby, old Jim and Bobby.
yeah.
He's like, I was 19 when we met. She was 14. And he's like, I didn't know that at the time. She was developed. She looked mature. I was told by my cousin she was 17 or 18. I was like, this guy's
always
really...
judge a book by its cover. She looks developed. It's fine for the taking.
This guy is real. That was a list
Jesus
of reasons.
Christ.
My cousin said she was 18. She had big tits. What do you want me to do?
I was distracted by those big old titties.
Well, he can't. He has to set that up, though, because he comes down hard on Josh.
Yeah.
So
well, he has to expose himself because he fucked up.
Yeah.
That's bad. But
in Arkansas, though, that's like pretty good.
Well, at the same time, this is going to sound awful, but when he said that, I was like, oh, yeah, 1940. Like, I've been with or dated guys that were older. My boyfriend was older.
He was 81.
He was 100.
When you were 12.
We were Mormons, and I was promised to him. And I was 11. I thought, this guy's great.
What's the oldest you would date?
But no. At that time, like, I had a boyfriend for years, Mario. We were together for 7 years, but he was older.
When you met him,
so technically,
he was 7, you were 1?
I was 16, and he was 19.
That's not...
19? Yeah, 18, 19. Yeah, but I'm saying I'm still underage.
You
know what I mean?
You were my Jim Holt in it.
Right.
Were you developed?
Not at all. Which is real creepy on Mario's part,
Did Mario's cousin tell him you were 17 or 18?
No, but it's just like, I think about that all the time because there was girls in high school that were 15 and they were dating 21-year-old guys.
That's creepy.
I don't...
When you can drink,
I hear what you're saying, but we were.
Like she's like, "You want to go to prom?" The guy's like, "Well, I'm going to the bar."
So when I was 15, right, I was probably going on 35.
Why?
Because we were street kids. We were way grown up. I already had 6 jobs. I was working in nightclubs.
Hard living.
Yeah, different. It's a completely different lifestyle. Like when you were 15, did you have a job?
I had no pubes.
That hair?
I still don't. Yeah, I think I was working around 15, 16.
Yeah, I had like multiple jobs.
But I was that age. I wasn't doing anything really like.
I was already clubbing. I started clubbing at the age of 14, and I was using Karen's ID.
Where were you hitting up the? What was
Barrett's?
The big one in New York?
I've been the church, the old church. Limelight, the Limelight.
No, the other one that was like the famous disco.
Don't be a dick, Studio 54.
There you go.
How old do you think I am? Just because I got a mullet haircut.
I could see you disco dancing at 14.
trying to get in the Studio 54.
I'm 25.
By the time I went to Studio 54, I was 18-ish, but it was turned into, all those guys were out. It was turned into like basically church comparatively.
It was changed.
And I remember standing in line and waiting, and we were all dressed with a lot of makeup because we had IDs that said we were 20. Mine at that point said 25. Karen's 10 years older. No one questioned it, FYI. I just want everybody to know that I passed for an elderly person at a very young age.
That's good.
So I'm Benjamin Buttons, guys.
It's good to get into the club. What do you think of the once the TLC money started rolling in, the manor they moved into?
That was insane.
The mansion.
And they
7,000 square feet, 9 bathrooms.
But they did it like the Amish. Like they built
the
it
Amish?
themselves.
What's the Amish?
That's how my dad
I know the
says
Amish.
My dad.
The Amish?
Hey, girl, the Amish built our house. What?
The Amish.
That's a real person. I could call him and make him say it on repeat.
Their house was a mansion, but it was just
You
like
hear him say Korean.
It was a straight line mansion.
Yeah, it was
There was no
weird.
like back. It was like just
It was
one.
a one level.
Yeah.
There was no upstairs, so it's like we need to know what's going on at all times.
How do they shower?
Wait, there was an upstairs. I'm sorry.
How do they shower at 19 kids?
I mean,
Probably a lot of them together.
I'm going to
the
say
younger
this.
ones.
Hopefully, they have more than one bathroom because
A few were out back in the hose, I think.
we had only one full bath
How many people together? 3, 4?
in the shower. Yeah,
Yeah.
I mean, Johnny Fax can call in for this one. I'd be in the shower, Jimmy be on the toilet, and Johnny be brushing his teeth.
That's a close family.
Absolutely, very close. We all.
Do you switch? Is it like a rotation? It's like, all right, now you get on the toilet.
You're in,
brush,
you're out.
I'm going into the shower.
Hey, can I use that towel you just used? That's how gross we
And then
were.
they're like, when one leaves, does somebody else come in? They tap in.
They take it. And if you try to for a short period of time, we had a door. I believe it was like an accordion
You
door.
mean a short period of
I'm
time?
gonna tell you
That's an odd statement.
Because people tried to lock it and get bathroom time. Oh, hell no. So they ripped it down. So for a long time, we had pinned like a flat sheet.
Like a curtain.
It was literally a flat sheet. And I'm like, why do we even have this? Because everybody's coming in anyway. Like, it doesn't matter. Everything was in that bathroom. They had like laundry bins that it came out of the wall. Like my uncle Tom. I have an Uncle Tom. Funny. Anyway, my Uncle Tom. I don't know why it's always funny. He did. And he built this like cabinet thing, like vanity, I guess is the word, but it had 2 hampers that came out of it. And we used to have to put clothes in there. One was right by the toilet, and it would literally overflow. Like, you'd be going to the bathroom like, ugh, with this thing. Okay, why is this coming out of it?
It's because the Duggars. Imagine double the amount of
See,
kids.
this has hit my trauma.
You guys never got the 7,000-foot estate.
We could have used it.
That's coming for you guys.
God damn it. Oh, man.
2008, they get their show, finally, after their 5 special deal.
5 special deal.
They have more specials than Whitney Cummings and Eliza Schlesinger combined.
Here we go with the Hollywood exploiting again. Here we go.
They say Duggar's Health put TLC on the map. It was one of their like early big programs.
Giant programs.
Jim Bob goes to see this Bill Gothard guy they set up. When Jim Bob's a teen, he goes with his buddy.
At this point, he doesn't know. As a teenager, right.
Yeah.
So growing up, they were just regular
they were
evangelists.
No,
it was called shit.
There was some Jim Bob was a strict religion.
Yeah, I can't think of the word. It's obviously it's a form of Christianity, but
so Bill Gothard's a televangelist for it's called the Institute in Basic Life Principles, the IBLP, which I had never heard of. Have you?
No.
Apparently, it's a big deal. Still.
Really? Are you fucking with
me? No,
me?
I'm serious.
Oh. I never heard of it.
No, Jim Bob.
Have you guys heard of it? Thank you.
Jim Bob's now the head of it.
We got 3 people in the booth that said no.
No, but they're like Huckabee, like all these. They're like trying to get into government. They're really trying to infiltrate.
That's what I'm saying.
So we need to stop.
So
they're training these guys in like military.
Did you
stuff.
ask me to watch this because as a Jew you're like, look at your people?
No, as a Jew I'm like, we need to fight to stay around. I need to talk about this so it doesn't
like,
fully
hold on,
take
we
over.
only have 2 kids, boy and a girl, and we take out. This is uncomfortable.
Yeah, we need help.
Sometimes a boy, and they're like, look, we can't go any further. Sorry, girls.
So this Bill Gothard, what do you think of his hair? He had a nice jet black, even though he looks like a corpse.
And he also had like, his eyes were like slits, like alien, like.
He's very creepy. Not that charismatic.
I feel like every once in a while when he would turn to the camera, like his eyes were going to go the wrong way. You know how when they show Alien, like it was going to open this way? I was like, ah.
He's kind of Crypt Keeper-esque, like a little old man.
Yeah, he was
jet
gross.
black hair.
Jet black hair.
Very thin.
The way he spoke, too, it was this like trying to be calming and convincing.
How many kids do you need?
At the same time.
How many blessings do you want?
Right. It was so.
Guess how many kids he has?
Terrifying. 0.
0 kids.
How many wives?
0 wives.
0 wives.
He's like, get married, stay married, have 80 kids. You know what? I'm going to be fucking.
But bring your kids to me.
Exactly.
Is that cool? You guys good with that?
We mentioned this earlier. I call this guy the Goth, Bill Gothard. So the Goth says if you're under an umbrella of protection,
umbrella,
Satan can't get you. You got to stay under that umbrella.
No, yeah, because Satan, even if you have like a little hole in your umbrella, devil could.
But even if there's rain,
there.
you can get hit by the rain if it's coming slanted a little bit. If you
why
have
you
the umbrella,
cock?
Just down to the legs.
Oh, okay.
Well, I wear white undies out in public, so
the
it rains.
devil can grab at your legs. You're saying. Who came up with the umbrella thing? It was so ridiculous.
This is the Goth. By the way, they quickly skated over. Did Jim Bob at one point in this say that the whole population of the world could fit in Jacksonville, Florida?
Something like that.
I didn't know Jacksonville, Florida was such a sprawling city.
So big. I did not.
They just like quickly, and Michelle was like, overpopulation's a lie. And Jim Bob says the whole world could fit in Jacksonville, Florida.
The whole world could fit. That means they've been nowhere. Like they've never seen anything.
They don't know the population of China, India,
hello,
the U.S.
This is a problem with no TVs, no computer. You know what I mean? Wi-Fi, nothing. He can't Google this.
Got the whole world in Jacksonville,
Florida.
They only have one NFL team. You'd think they would have more with such a huge city.
Jaguars don't get out much.
I wonder why he picked Jacksonville of all places.
No.
Not Miami.
That is so weird. They're like, everybody's lying to you. We're not, though.
Go to Jacksonville.
Look at me. I'm making tater tot casserole. Jesus.
The Duggars become a recruiting tool for the IBLP. They get in bed with them.
Well, so Goth, if I may.
The Goth, yeah.
The Goth. Oh, the Goth. My fault.
The Goth.
The Goth is also jumps in on this greed fest. Like, hey, we can capitalize on this.
He wants to get as big as possible.
Yeah.
And spread the gospel.
And this TV thing, could spread the word.
When then they said
I think a lot of people have these.
They said before the Duggars, this wasn't like a mainstream people didn't know about the IBLP, and then they kind of brought it to light via TLC. It was like, yeah, sure, we'll make money and spread this crazy extreme religious.
Spread the word.
Josh Duggar, they kind of parallel story. He goes to D.C. He's trying to get into politics.
Yeah, smart move, Joshy.
Which is who you want involved in politics, guys like this.
But he was being homeschooled as well.
All of them, yeah. That's what the Goth says. You got to homeschool.
Right. But you go into politics and you've learned only their version of an insane Bible.
Yes, but he's obviously the extreme right.
But 2 + 2 or 4 + 4, like none of
it's whatever
this.
they teach you.
The only thing that they taught were fractions because that goes with cooking.
Well, that was for the women. Different educations.
And people say, why do women go crazy?
Why is there's no extreme religion that women are on top? You ever notice that?
0.
Or cults.
This is a problem.
Like, why is there no woman cult leader
at all? I fight with my mom over this, but I try not to because I respect her religion. I respect her love for Catholicism, but there's nothing. There's no bright. What about Mary? She got pregnant by a nobody.
She couldn't even have sex.
Yeah, she was a virgin.
Why don't you start a women-led cult where you're the head?
No, we're going to do the female fight club. I'm going to join these ladies, and we're going to make it bigger.
I don't know if people are going to want to fight with you.
We're going to have a picture of Jeff with that part and say, this is what, we're going to just hit him.
I'm going to teach you how to spank your kids.
That's what we call these people, beige people. The beige is the big color. That's why I wore those.
These people.
Prism is nothing to do with them.
They give the big bombshell. 2015, it came out that there was allegations of Josh sexually abusing children.
No way.
The apple of Jim Bob's eye.
I don't believe it.
This was one of the crazier parts of this, and this really pissed me off.
Okay.
So Jim Bob's best friend, this guy, Jim Holt. So to date in this weirdo community, you have to approach the father as the man and say, or boy, whatever, hey, I would like to be with your daughter for a courtship.
Sure.
But that means basically you want to get married, like off the bat.
Yeah, because you don't go to the dad, in my world, maybe even yours, until you're asking for someone's hand.
Yes.
In marriage, right?
Yes.
Okay.
Or their feet or whatever. Nips.
Creep.
Must
be the hair. Making them think weird.
So Josh and this guy's daughter, like they were born 2 days apart, knew each other since young babies.
Yeah.
They're together. So it's like a serious deal. So then Jim Bob pulls this guy aside, a longtime friend of the guy. He's known him since he's a teenager.
Yeah.
And he's like, by the way, Josh has gotten in a little bit of trouble, which is putting it very mildly, Jim Bob, you piece of shit. He says he touched his sisters inappropriately, and they said that's what he'd always say. The wife said, you mean molested? And Michelle's like, don't you say that.
That's not a real word.
That's not what he did.
They made that up with the population thing.
So he'd been doing this since he was 12. This guy didn't find out until he was 15.
Again, and I'm not defending Josh. I'm not. I'm just saying you cut off all outside world. You're homeschooling them. You're not talking about puberty. You're not talking about, things that come over your body, whatever. Like, I mean, I made my Barbies fuck, like I ripped their heads off. I did weird.
You have serious problems.
I have some serious issues. But they were like, you can't have sex like that. I was like, oh, okay.
Without a head.
Yeah, it's not fun. So I learned. But I'm saying, like, no, their curiosity, it's just inside of them, and I don't know where to put it. I don't know how to ask. You can't ask a question. I don't even want to get to the blanket training, but that's a whole nother page. But I'm just saying, like, I feel terrible.
This guy was like, wait, you weren't going to tell me? And he's like, well, not really. We were going to wait till Josh and her got married, and then he was going to confess to her, which is that guy.
I almost broke my computer.
If that guy killed Jim Bob, I'd be like, you fucking
grounds.
Piece of shit.
But if he killed him right there, he'd be like, yeah, this is grounds.
Yeah, that's the scummiest. They get married, then they can deal with it. You fucking piece of shit, Jim Bob. To your own friend. That's his friend.
Yeah. Well, is he?
Supposedly. I don't know. Jim Bob's like a robot. So he said, are you using my daughter as a carrot to get Josh to behave?
Yes.
Jim Bob's answer, kinda. Fucking, he should have punched it. He should have knocked him out right there.
Then, but they still, to me, again, they should have got their kid out. No matter what. Fuck. I'm sorry. But the marriage thing, I know it's a...
No, but she didn't. She didn't marry him. That girl.
Right.
He married some other idiot.
I'm saying, like, immediately go tell that person, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like, spread the fucking word.
I think they do, but I think...
Once you get your daughter out.
But I think in this thing, everyone's so brainwashed that it's like, oh.
That's true. I keep forgetting about the brainwash, and that is strong.
So this guy goes, Jim Bob, when you were in government, you wrote a bill about sex offenders, like having to like tell people they're sex offenders. He's like, what are you doing? You got to turn this kid in. Yeah. He's like, all right, well, fine. I'll tell the cops. They bring him into the cops. State trooper gives him well, I'm going to let you go this time. You do it again, you're in trouble. Turns out that was Jim Bob's buddy. Surprise, surprise.
Surprise.
If you cover up knowingly or lie about someone who's molested children, you should have to register. You should have to face the same punishments.
Exactly.
Oh,
you are a sex offender adjacent.
Drives me nuts.
Yeah.
Enabler.
Yeah.
Your own kids as well. What a scumbag.
Your own children are coming to you saying, hey, he's doing this, this, and this. And they're like, is he really?
When they're like, they had all these excuses. So how do they handle this controversy? They send him off to the Goths facility for troubled boys. This is Peter Pan.
Goth has a city for you to build.
He has to go.
You'll be fine.
This guy has to go. They're like, you know what? He's going to go work in construction.
Yes.
That's how you get over being a molester. Just work
Do
it off.
Do something else with your hands.
Make yourself busy.
We're going to have your feet, too.
Don't address any of the problems or punish him.
We're not going to talk about anything.
Go build some houses with the Goth.
Just
child labor. So then Jim Bob, even greater as the media, when they were coming in for those articles based on that picture, Josh was at his work camp working off his molestation. Jim Bob brings him home because he doesn't want he doesn't want to explain where he is.
Everybody keeps asking, where is he? Where is he?
Oh, he's, he's being a good guy.
He's
service.
He's doing some Christian community service.
Disgusting. Jim
Gross.
Bob.
I can't fucking stand this. I literally, at this point, I was throwing up, and I was like, I can't.
Throwing up.
It was that bad. It was making me sick.
Horrific. These guys made so much money.
So much money. At one point, they said it was like $850,000 a season. I was like, are they fucking serious?
You know how much the kids were seeing?
0.
Not a dime. JB was hoarding it all. I bet the wife doesn't even see the money.
Maybe because she doesn't get that
money for some casserole.
I need some new dresses.
My pantaloons are starting to rip.
My pantaloons are rotten, and I need to get some.
I got some afterbirth on them, Jim Bob.
Well, Michelle, on my pantaloons.
That's what the Lord would want. Fucking Jim Bob. They opened episode 2 with some news snippets about Josh and kind of his fall from grace.
Yeah. Big giant fall from grace.
The trooper who gave Josh the big warning. That's Joseph Hutchins, if you're scoring at home.
Yes.
He's now serving 50 plus years for having child pornography on his computer.
And his picture, I don't know if that was his mugshot, I forget, but it was like, it was the worst.
So these are Jim Bob's friends. Yeah. A friend of his.
And he's like,
so that's a good guy to give you.
Is that when they caught you in the act, or is that when they told you your sentence?
He's like, don't do it again. By the way, have you checked out this website that I've been
Hey, you're good with tech stuff. Is that right?
What are you into? Jim Bob, he's like, Jim Bob, why don't you leave the room for a minute?
If you want to hide something on a computer.
Well, apparently not good enough because this guy's doing 50 years.
Well, yeah, he didn't get in touch with Joshua fast enough.
Jim Bob is what happened. This is according to Jim Bob. Mm-hmm. Josh was just curious about girls. So where do you go? You got your sisters.
And when he was explaining it, and all he did was feel over their tops.
Over the clothes while they were sleeping. What? No big. Jim Bob deserves to be raped while he's sleeping.
They didn't even know he did it.
Yeah, he goes, they don't know what happened. Jim Bob deserves, when he's sleeping, to be raped.
100%.
Murdered.
You're sick. You're a sick, greedy fuck. That's against religion. Greed. That's one of the 7 deadly sins, you piece of shit.
How dare you?
I'm looking right at you. Look at that part.
Would you fight him? Look at that fucking...
It does look like the Lego Snap-on.
It's Lego Snap-on. It's also 40-year-old virgin. Look at that hair.
Yeah.
Look at this fucking idiot.
They did do that to Carell, the 40-year-old virgin.
Look at Jim Bob. You can see it in his eyes that he would cover it up.
Oh, man, you are so fucking gross.
This guy's the head of this religion now. He took over.
Of course, because there's money. More money.
He took over.
90 million plus, no taxes, because it's a church.
Josh, he was also on Ashley Madison. Remember that whole scandal? That website for married people? Mm-hmm. He was cheating on his wife, who made a good decision by marrying him and staying with him while he's in prison still. The mom said that old Michelle was making her tater tot casserole. She said, I don't think I need to talk to Josh. I need to talk to our heavenly Father. Yes, he wasn't home. He's not taking your calls, lady.
That's what I just read.
You fucking idiot. That's what's going to help?
She's like, I know what to do. I'll get on my knees like I did the night of when I first met Jim Bob.
You know what we should do? Have another kid,
I should have blown him, but what I did was I talked to Jesus.
Fucking heavenly Father. That's her answer. For this son, he's
so
a monster.
Bad. I feel terrible. You guys are giving religion a bad name.
Well, this isn't just.
Okay,
this
religion
is
has a bad name, but whatever. You know.
This is like fundamental. This isn't like regular religion. This is extreme.
Yeah, this is extreme.
Very
extreme of anything.
Yes.
Yeah, I know what I'm going to make you watch. The one I watched about the Jewish girl. Yeah, who ran away.
You're going to tie me up
to Germany.
That's not a reality. That's a show.
That's a real show.
Yeah.
But wasn't it a true story about her?
Esty?
She was in the what is that called? Orthodox.
She was Hasidic.
Hasidic.
In New York.
I couldn't think of it. Yeah,
they followed her to Germany.
But that was real.
It was a very sad show.
It was very sad. But
Made
if you're going to do this.
Made Courtney cry. But they're extreme as well.
That's what I mean. Any extreme is insane.
Moderation in 100%. All things.
It goes for everything in life. Food, religion, cock. It's all right, maybe not.
I don't know if that's...
I'm lonely. I'm sorry.
They bring in they show the porn star that Josh had sex with when his wife was pregnant, which is cool.
Yeah, I like that. But also they were showing, and I don't know if this was at the same point, I could be lost on the pages, but they were saying that like evolution is unscientific. Like they were trying to show
they kept going to that museum.
It was so great. Like they're like, listen, we're not educated, so we're just gonna make this up, and what we think is
Jim Bob and the Goth. It's
so
it's their teachings.
I mean, I kind of agree with their teachings.
You should go into the IBLP, be a comic.
I want.
It's a niche. You get into that niche.
What's her name? Part of something, maybe not this extreme. I don't want to mess up. Johnny Facts would not be able to give me the facts on this one, but Taylor Tomlinson, the comic, wasn't she a Christian comic at first?
Was she? That was news to me. I don't know.
But she was doing.
Was she opening for Kirk Cameron?
She was. Yeah.
Really?
She was, and then she just like growing, whatever, and she just made not fun of it, but like she was doing. At churches, comedy.
I wonder how you go from that to like steering away from.
I mean, to me, I think that's why she's so good. Is that she literally learned like, okay, I'm gonna walk on this tightrope.
It's gonna walk on water.
Tight rope, and she did, and she would like do really well.
Kinnison was gonna be a preacher.
Oh yeah, well, exactly. You have that. His
he
father
had that
was
charisma.
a preacher. Yeah, his father was a preacher, I believe, and then. He wasn't going to do it, but he would do an impression. Now, I never met Sam. He died a year before I came, but so everybody would tell the stories.
Late 60s.
No one likes you, Jeffrey. They don't like your purple checker shoes that don't go with your beige dumb pants.
That shows that I'm not truly a
Duggar.
Duggar.
Is this you trying to get out?
That's my personality.
Did you screaming to get out? But no, it was Sam died in 1992. So I started at the Comedy Store in 93, but apparently he would go on stage and he would yell like a preacher to fuck with the ghost at the store.
Whoa.
I know. And
now he's one of them.
All would say weird shit would happen.
Really?
And I was like, I can't. Carl LeBeau would tell stories. God rest his soul. Carl LeBeau would tell stories, and I would be like, I don't know if you're just a good storyteller or this shit is real.
People
but
speaking
I'm
in tongues?
No, like music would kick on real loud because they loved the music. The ghost at the store, big
music fans.
Yes. They used to mess with Mitzi's music. Like I'd be in her office and I thought she was like changing the channel because it would go on and off. And then she would go, knock it off. And I turn around and she's like, not you. The ghost is fucking with the music. And I'm like, I don't want to be here. Like, this is frightening.
They're like, when that place is eventually demolished, probably a few years from now.
No way.
When they go underneath, it's just going to be right the direct portal to hell. It's going to be like right, there's like, oh, there it is, right there. It's right underneath the whole time.
I don't think it's underneath. I think it's right there in front of you.
Oh, you think it's?
You think it's the hell hallways, the whole thing.
Okay, so it's just the building.
Yes, I don't. Even if they sold it, made it something else, they would never be able to demolish it. I swear.
You think it would survive? Real. Part of it, or keep coming back?
Yeah,
like an Encanto, it would rebuild. It's possible.
That's how it's going to be.
Speaking of hell, that they started this is where it gets wishy-washy. They start introducing all these people in this,
right?
And they're not saying who they are. They're
Chad's
all
my favorite.
They're part of this this religion, but they're not saying like who any of them were, and they're just talking about their experiences in the IDLP.
And they were from different areas too.
Yes, all over the country.
I'm like, Jesus, this is everywhere. I'm sorry, all over the place.
Yeah, so people would go to these like conventions, and then you bring back the IBLP to like your own community and spread it. And so that's how it got all over.
Like herpes. It just was everywhere.
The Goth.
Holy shit. Oh, yeah.
Playing those arenas.
That makes sense.
Goth, by the way, is not a pastor. He's not attached to any specific church. He's on his own deal that he made up.
I got a little sidetracked in my head because I'm nutty. But do you think the goth brags about sold out this one 3 nights
Oh
in a
yeah.
row?
To the other televangelists, he's like, "What are you guys doing?"
Yeah, how many have you done? How many seats did you get in there? How many children can you make people
Goth
have?
was doing Madison Square Garden long before Dice.
Yes.
Selling out. I don't think he was doing New York City.
Is he in the records with?
Yeah. You go. Oh, Gothard was here. That's cool. So you've got the umbrellas of protection.
Mm-hmm.
Also have the umbrella of authority. A lot of umbrellas.
Yeah, the authority ones, Frank.
You got kids obey their parents, but I think the girls it's girls, boys, parents.
Mm-hmm.
Parents
Oh,
obey.
girls even made the list. I didn't even think.
Yeah, they may
I'm
not.
kidding.
Parents obey Bill Gothard. Who's
Yeah.
Bill obeying? The Lord's right above Bill. And if you're under that, if you stay within that umbrella of authority,
Somebody said that it's Bill and then God.
nothing bad's going to happen to you. If you stay in the totem pole,
Yeah, you
in
stay
line,
right there.
keep Goth above you, keep your parents
Don't
above
fuck
you.
around. Don't fuck around. Don't fuck around.
Did you notice there was a pastor / journalist they kept going to who looked like a normal version of Ari Shaffir? He was shaved head. Do you know what I'm talking about?
Yes, but why do you? I did not. By the way, I can see his face, and I did not put Ari Shaffir.
It was like
Normal
if
or
Ari,
abnormal?
his life went like a way different path than it
Like
did.
non-Jewish.
Maybe that too.
Okay. The Goyim
He's
Ari.
the IBLP Ari.
Okay. Real Goyish Ari. We see what you look like if you go the other way.
Goth, he's preaching, let's return to a time when things were better, which means like no blacks, no women, no minorities. They said integration kicked off the homeschool movement in the South. They're like, you know what? We're out. We're just going to take our
That's
kids
nice. And
out.
why a religious group that supposedly preaches love and love everyone and
Yeah.
accept everyone? Oh, blacks? Hold on. Shut the door. Oh, gays? Uh-oh. Shut the door. Like, it's sickening.
Goth,
It's so fucking gross.
in the 80s, Goth has his Advanced Training Institute, which he wants these young kids to be the leaders of the country going forward. He wanted, like they said, like he wanted to like dominate the world was his original plan.
100%.
Didn't happen, but
This is, I mean, it still could.
they got the.
Whose side are you on?
I think you know that. He's like his home.
Definitely
He is
a
a
Duggar.
homeschool model. They have 54 wisdom booklets that you learn.
Yeah. I love there was like this.
One a week.
What? The wisdom
This is
book.
for school.
Yeah.
This is their version of school.
Yeah.
And it's all based on the Sermon of the Mount, which I'm not familiar with. Are you?
Oh, yeah, the Sermon of the Mountain. The Sermon on the Mountain. Yeah, like,
Yeah.
yeah.
You know that? Is that
Vaguely.
a Disney ride?
Listen, I'm going to say this. When they showed the picture, I got a little like, oh, yeah, I was supposed to study that day. And I didn't do it. You know what I mean? Like religion. We had religion every year. I went to Catholic school 12 years.
You're saying that
13,
these kids...
I got left back in 5th.
Uh-oh. You're saying these kids weren't
Still don't
educated?
remember anything.
God said that if you do his teachings, it's a high school diploma that will lead you to pre-law, pre-med.
How? That's doctor.
It's not true. That's how.
Okay, good. So it's like the rest of their religion. It's not real.
Yeah, it's bullshit.
it's all
They're like,
made
just keep
up
paying
bullshit.
me.
But they kept doing this like spiritual guide thing, and it looked like a fucked up menorah.
It was. They did use a menorah. I was like, get that off
I was
of
like,
here.
whoa, hey.
God says if you listen to a rock song, even a Christian rock song,
Christian rock.
you're giving Satan a little block of your soul.
That's right. You know what? We had this rosary bead that we would have to hang in high school. I went to St. Maria Goretti
And where
High
you were
School.
like gesturing to a bra.
So you would like kind of over your jumper, you would like
On the
kind of tie
side?
it here and leave it hanging.
Okay.
Right. And I always made fun because some of the girls would have it and they were pregnant in high school with the crucifix hanging over the belly.
Over the top.
So-
Okay.
But we used to like swing it, that or our key.
Anyone ever fight?
We had a
Whip
locker
somebody?
key. No, we had a locker key on our uniform, so we would swing it. But sometimes you would swing the rosary too, just go like that. You know, when you're bored, and
Like
you
a
just go like
lifeguard
that.
with the whistle.
Yeah, and somebody, a nun came up and she goes, "You're giving the devil a ride."
Whoa.
And I was
Whoa.
like, "Oh, let me get him off. Put him back down here."
But if you couldn't you just be hanging
Awful.
from the limp rope?
Maybe. I mean,
I didn't. Wow.
every time I swing something, I think of it and I stop swinging it.
Jeez. Man, those ties are hard to cut.
It's tight.
Did you
It's
like the church's
scary.
own version, their board game?
Yes.
How
I couldn't
lame it was.
play life.
They're so fucking lame.
Was it because she said? I think I don't know if she said it or I was thinking it. But she said you couldn't fit all the kids in the car. You remember the Game of Life? You had to put your kids in the car. There wasn't enough kids.
Goth says no Winnie the Pooh. Eeyore glorifies depression.
100% my favorite character. Oh, if it is a good day, always
Hey
my favorite character. Winnie the Pooh is my absolute top, and Eeyore. We call my brother Tommy Eeyore.
Johnny, is that true? Call him
Johnny. He knows.
Gothard taught this one. I agreed with. This is one of the things I agreed with. He taught the creator of the Cabbage Patch dolls was a warlock, and that he cursed the dolls with a demon. Each doll on the factory line.
They were signed.
I agree.
Why?
I agree with that.
That was weird. And they sold.
What do you mean? You're agreeing with it for real? You crazy?
They sold like hotcakes, right? I'm not a doll person.
I had one.
My little sister Edie had one. So, but Edie had one, and my mom went to buy it. You know, obviously she went whenever she could, whenever she had like the money. But they were expensive too for that time, and they didn't have any white ones left. So my mom got a black one, and Edie absolutely loved it. And of course we were like, oh. And like, you know, because it just, I don't know if it was like a thing, but Edie.
Do you think she's before her time?
Obsessed with that little doll. And we were like, Edie's got a black doll with something written on her ass. Like, we didn't know what it was.
It says Hail Satan.
No, it's it.
Yes, it does. If you look under a microscope, magnifying glass.
I forget what was the signature though.
I don't know.
It was either the product name or the name of the company. But Edie absolutely loved her little black doll.
There's a place
I
want to say in like Ohio. It's a Cabbage Patch. Like it's like a fake hospital. Mm-hmm. You go in and you can see like.
Look how ugly they were. What does that say? It's Satan. I see it.
Yeah.
No, I'm kidding. Oh, they're all different.
It's or is that? I think it says Javier Bardem. I see an X.
Javier
Roberts.
See, I was right.
Javier.
Xavier? I don't know. I see an X.
That's crazy. There's a $5 coupon.
But
if you
take those letters and you mix them up all different ways and you add up the numbers, it turns into 666.
Edie loved her doll so much that she wouldn't even give it to us so that we can make a haunted house in the alley. And we used to take all the heads off the dolls and color them in red. And like swing them at people when they walk.
What the fuck?
Is that somebody's ass cheek?
Yeah, it looks like someone got their own tattoo of the
yes.
Is that a man or a woman? Very hard to tell.
None of our business, Jeff.
They're a Cabbage Patch.
Yeah, it's true.
Yeah, they're a Cabbage Patch.
Their own gender.
Is that the bald Cabbage Patch there? What the fuck?
Yeah, that's a preemie. Or a small one.
Oh shit! I remember the long hair. I remember weird. Like, see that one with the dark hair? I remember it. I didn't play with dolls, but Edie did. A little bit. She loved her Cabbage Patch. That was her shit. There is one with no hair.
When would there's your sisters. When would the haunted alley take place?
Didn't look like that. Hers. That wasn't it.
I like how you're saying I really know what your sister's doll looked like.
That's more.
That's your sister's?
That looks
Look at those dimples.
Yeah, see? I remember it had the weird face features.
Looks like a Kerrigan.
Yeah, look at the one with the red hair. It's terrifying. These dolls were terrifying.
So you agree that a warlock made these?
100%, Xavier. I'm just kidding. I just didn't like dolls. Look at that one with the 31 on there. Is that Larry Bird? 33.
It's Bob Ross meets Larry Bird. Look at that fro.
That's Bob Ross
you
and
can
Larry
clean your
Bird's
car
kid.
with that thing. That looks like a Russian UFC. Have you seen the hats they wear? It's like that. I don't know what. It's like a former country that was a part of Russia. They wear big white hats like that.
Yes.
You could buff your floors with that thing.
Shoes. This guy. Look how cute he is.
Did you like that? I forget. I think one of the experts on like either the Duggars. They had all sorts of different talking heads. Mm-hmm. But they say you can train your voice. That Michelle, that's not her real voice, which I agree with.
So that you talk like this.
She says she infantile.
It makes people lean in and listen, and then
when you're like, I'm meek, like
right.
I'm just a meek.
The meek will inherit the earth. I remember that from the Bible.
Or populate the earth.
I had to write the Bible a lot. You would think I would remember more.
You wrote part of it?
No, that was a punishment after school. We'd have to stay and write verses from the Bible.
That's cool.
Like lots of them.
Sounds fun. Turned out well for you.
Yeah. I would just write it down, but I wasn't like listening, or taking it in.
According to the critics, they say that this religion wants young, innocent, sweet girls. Mm-hmm. They say girls wear dresses, pilgrim collars, big skirts. You have to wear your hair a certain way.
In one of the videos, they showed this lady. She looked like a bird woman. Her nose was terrifying looking. And she was like, yes, women are, and she talked like that, but it was like a dark.
Was that the
hair.
lady with pink hair? There was a pink hair woman who
No.
really got away from it now. And she said she was pulled aside
was
from
great.
the goth pulled her aside. Her hair wasn't curly enough.
Right. Actually had a
She
curl
didn't have
hair.
the curl.
Right. This was the lady talking about what women should look like,
like,
or
"Excuse
something
me,
like
may I
that.
talk to
in,
you?
in
It's
one of
me."
the goth videos.
The goth.
Yeah, that's. Can I talk to you for a second?
You're like, oh,
Can
what have
you
I
get
done?
a piggyback perm?
What the fuck? Why does he care?
Because he's fucking sick.
This is what the goth
Don't make
preaches.
me curse.
Men have a problem with their eyes. So women need to avoid eye traps.
Right.
The shorter the skirt, the more vicious the trap.
And then
Is that
they
a
would-
Tupac lyric? And,
I think so.
The blacker the berry, the shorter the skirt.
So
Something
wait,
like that.
they would show him pictures and say, "Show us the trap." Circle.
You had to circle the trap was like homework.
It's another game.
And they said,
Guys, this is a
they're
big
like,
game.
we were slut shaming as homework. They're like, oh, Debbie has earrings. You have to circle it. They're like, look at these nip rings. That gets the eye. That's an eye trap.
Well, here's the thing. I was in my pantaloons and an oversized dress and a sweater on top of that and a mullet, and my
Jim
brother
Bob.
still molested me.
Jim Bob. You can't circle all that. It's a lot of information.
Like, what if they said that? What if Jill was like, I wasn't wearing any of these traps.
How many layers you have to wear to protect yourself from Josh Duggar and Jim Bob's lies?
And I'm sure they slept in like those zip-up footy pajamas until
slept in
they were well into their
They were
20s.
in hazmat suits.
Yes.
Marty McFly.
How did Joshua get under my hazmat suit?
There was a lot of fabric between. So technically, what did he really
I'm not laughing at it. It's awful.
Yeah, the Duggars had a code word for the Duggar boys to put their eyes down because an eye trap was near.
But
Dun,
what
dun,
was the
dun.
code word? Nike.
Nike, which Nike's like, hey guys, we have nothing to do with this.
Is this how they paid for the documentary? They
Nike.
used Nike as a sponsor.
How much is Nike called out when they're in public?
I was so happy that they used that. I hate Nike. I was like, Nike.
They're like, ah! And it's just like a woman walking in like a tank top.
And the girl was like hiding the thing. And they go, what did you do? Oh, somebody's wearing inappropriate clothing, so she's hiding it from the other children.
Just, I think anything, like a woman delivering mail. Nike, get out of here! It's a lady. The cousin was a big Nike, probably. 'Cause
Every
she was
time
living
she
a
came
normal
in,
life.
they're like, Nike.
Hide! All the boys ran.
I just came over from some tater tot casserole, and everybody had their eyes on the ground.
This the goth teaches that if you're an older boy, you can't change a baby, especially a girl baby, because then you're going to see the
They're
female
unruly.
genitalia and be tempted. No, it's not unruly.
Oh wait, you mean literally
Yeah,
change the
can't
diaper?
change a
Right,
diaper.
right. I just read something.
No.
In
So
my,
you can't even see a
you can't
vagina.
even see it. Yeah, a baby's vagina will make you.
That's an eye trap for the goth. What a great religion this guy's got going.
What an amazing group of people.
Yeah.
You know? I
It's
mean,
good they're trying to basically
I wish
start a
there was more
militia
of them.
in the country. This is
no,
prominent
this is
in
terrorism.
politics
this
today.
is terrorism.
Domestic.
Easily.
They said nakedness brings shame. You got to keep those clothes on at all
and
times.
I was an exhibitionist, so I would never be
Jim
able
Bob definitely fucks with his pants on, for sure, through the zipper, which could lead to big injuries.
to.
Everybody. It's a metal, jagged metal near people's privates.
Have I done anal? No, but there has been a zipper in
zipper?
my asshole.
Zipper cut me.
From time to
Her
time.
C-section. Well, I don't think it's had a C-section, but it would be cut open. No, she did. Remember they showed it on TLC.
Oh, yeah.
The whole thing. I was like, oh.
Yeah. Well, if you have one, you can't go back.
So I think after that, she was probably doing births 18 through 59.
Pretty babies. A little easy when you get the hood open like that.
Is that what your mom would say?
Yeah.
Disgusted? The goth, one of his cooler quotes, pornography has done more damage than 100 Hitlers.
Yeah, that was great.
Which as a
I was
Jew,
like, this is for Jeff.
I felt
here.
pretty good about that quote. 100 Hitlers, goth? 6 million times 100? You fucking idiot.
And if they were really schooled, they'd be able to give you the answer.
You want to talk about porno? Josh Duggar, you? The goth is allegation.
They couldn't even give you an answer to that question. 100.
And they're all like, yeah, that's right. That's
100 Hitlers
That-
times 6 million? What's the answer, fuckers?
They're like, you could fit
They
that
don't know.
they could fit it in Jacksonville either way. The Jews of Jacksonville.
Well, if we got rid of the Jews,
Fucking
everybody
people
can fit in
follow it.
Jacksonville.
That's
Jesus.
what's crazy. Is this that people follow this.
That's what I'm
growing.
saying. With the fact that they were making that much money because people were watching this is
Crazy.
sad. And you were one of them. So
I
I'm
didn't watch
furious with
regularly.
you.
Only occasionally, and I stopped.
But you encourage this.
What do you think? I called Jim Bob and said, keep doing what you're doing? I didn't encourage it.
Keep up the good work.
Hey,
More
Jim
Hitler
Bob,
references.
tell me about porno being worse than 100 Hitlers, you fucking moron. While your son's a pedophile and you cover it up.
The blanket training.
They always got to come after the Jews, don't
They
they?
always got to bring it up.
Always
right?
us. Always our fault. Duggars had a bonfire. They burned all their Disney stuff or anything that was
Yes.
worldly from
Yes.
outside of their
All
bubble.
because of Eeyore had a little bit of a depression problem.
Burn, Mickey, burn.
Sorry for the donkey who didn't feel good.
Where do they do the bonfire? In like a field? They do it in the house?
Well, they had all that land.
They did have a lot of
So
land.
they could
They
do
were
it
like
right
on that,
there.
like they were like on a not a highway, but like one of those like semi-highways. They were like right on the main strip.
Can you imagine like a freeway? People driving
that
by.
Jim
A lot of
Bob?
looky-loos. Oh, shit.
Jim Bob out there in his pantaloons raking the grass.
200 car pile up because they're all looking.
His kids are like
What the fuck is
working
that?
his land for free.
Oh, yeah, that too.
The goth says everyone's got a spiritual gift,
Right.
and you need to find out what it is and use it for the ministry.
It's
And that
important.
mostly means that men are prophets and the women are known as mercies, so they can like help. That's like as a woman. That's
I know
really-
what it means. I'm just saying it's not even that. They don't even want us for that, really. They just
we
want
just
us.
birth those kids.
They need us to bake a cake and just let them under their pantaloons. every
While
once
you're
in a
baking the
while.
cake, you bend
Yeah.
over,
Yeah. Submit.
get pregnant.
Submission.
Jill Duggar had a buddy team. Their ages were 6 to 16. These were basically people working under her
This.
to help raise the young kids.
I was going to say this also triggered me.
This is pyramid parenting.
We did it.
Who were you raising? Or were you part of the team?
I was part of the bottom.
You were part of the buddy
yeah,
team.
So the adults raised like the older kid. This is all because when my dad left, the older kids had to take care of the younger kids, and they
Yes.
were not happy about it. So this whole buddy system, like we could have used that little board she had going with all the little post-its on
she
there.
had different colors.
She had real coordination.
so
like,
Jim Bob didn't beat her.
Right. So that when they were doing laundry and shit like that, like if I called my brother Billy and I said, hey, it's your turn to do laundry, he'd start shaking and hang up. Like he wouldn't, because it was such a trauma. Like it was so much.
How many loads a day?
It wasn't a day.
They said they were doing 10 a day.
No, we didn't have that many clothes. So we'd have to wash them as we go.
Were
like
you going in
the sink.
in the bathtub?
And if the washer and dryer were working, that was a whole nother
Was that
thing.
somebody was working the sink wash tub while someone was shitting?
Yeah, we've done
someone was
that.
brushing their teeth, someone showering?
You know how to get stains out?
Like, give me your toothbrush real quick.
Dude, that's my new toothbrush.
Like I'm using it.
I don't care if you have skid marks. Give my toothbrush back. You
So
know,
who was
like-
your team leader?
So like a lot of times my brother Jimmy, my sister Kathleen, like they were like in charge of it. I remember this one time Jimmy
Would he have to go to like parent teacher conferences?
No, we just definitely I guess my mom would show up for them.
She'd find a way.
You figure it out.
She'd
you
be
know?
like, can you schedule 18 of these in one night
Yeah.
so I can just be there?
But it was like, Kathleen and this one time Jimmy was telling us what to do, and it was near Father's Day. And you know how they make you make things in school, but they
Yeah.
don't really think about it. They're like, oh, it's Father's Day. Let's make a thing for your father. Like, my father's dead. My father left. My father, all the kids were like,
You're like, my father's
So-
nearby, but he hates us.
We never said anything, and we just made the dumb thing, and then we brought it home. I remember Billy put it on the back of my brother Jimmy. When he found it, he almost killed us. It's a number one dad. As he was like yelling at us to do stuff.
He's a dad brother.
It's tremendous. But it was like they would have to, like Johnny, and he can fax this, Johnny fax, my dad, he was the last one to like get a car. I don't think he was allowed to keep it, but my dad used to give like a car and a bank account at like your 16th birthday.
Whoa.
And I would hang out in a different neighborhood. It was 12th and Wolf because I'm a 12th Wolf girl. And him and his friend Rosario would drive around and go, get home now, and drive away in the brown Citation.
Really?
Yeah, every time I saw a two-toned brown citation.
What's a citation? A brand of car?
A kind of car.
I thought he was giving you a citation.
No, pretty much. Drive, basically.
Neighborhood watch.
He would yell, "Get home now!" And I was with the guy I was in love with in high school, and I'd be like, "Fuck," so angry. So they would do things like that,
Why didn't
but
you
it
just
wasn't
switch
like
where you hung out?
because I'm a Twont Wolf girl.
Well, that's easy to find, though. That's what I'm
Whatever. So we would go on Durford Street every once in a while, but whatever.
saying. Durford Street.
It's just a side street. It's
Go
where
in
the
the
love of my
alley.
life lived.
Go in the haunted alley with your sister and her dolls.
That's Brigantine Castle Alley.
So you didn't like the buddy teams that brought
So
you back
I
to
liked
your heyday.
it, but I didn't like them telling me what to do. But these people were like instilling even worse things in them. At least like my brothers and sisters were just like yelling at me like, "Don't be a dick," and then I was on my own. They didn't really hang out with us.
Jill was like
all day.
legit
Yeah.
had to raise kids.
They were like, my sister Kathleen used to joke like, "Well, I did raise Edie," and I'm like,
This like Jill
There
would have
he
like a
is.
baby on her hip. She was like baking loaves of bread.
Yeah.
This is a tough.
But Karen
gig.
and Kathleen both had to like take Edie because she was so little to like their high school stuff, because like if it was like senior day or Goretti day where everybody would go
So
somewhere,
they'd have like a child.
if they had the day off, they'd have to take Edie.
Why didn't they put her in the daycare at the school?
I don't think they had one.
Really? They do. A lot of schools have them now.
Yeah, that's now, Jeff. They didn't care about us back. I'm just kidding. I don't know. I guess it could have also been a money thing.
Why were all the Duggars forced to learn the violin? Was that part of the religion? They kept showing that. Did you notice that? I
Yes.
was like, what is this? Where does
And
this fit in?
there was a scene where they're all playing the violin, right? And the little girl, the youngest one, looked at the camera like, "What the fuck was I born into?" I swear that's how she looked at the camera. She was like,
And the cousin just smashed the violin. She's like, I don't need to do this shit.
"I'm not playing this shit."
This is the part where the guy's spanking the kid in front of the crowd. Everyone's dying laughing.
Right.
Loving it.
Loving it. That was great. Do it again.
Give
Hit
me
my
a better
kid.
hug. Then they have the Civil War looking guy with that long gray
Yeah.
beard.
Oh,
Creepy.
that guy was crazy.
He may not have been alive.
That guy may have trained my dad about punishments.
Michael Pearl.
Yeah, he was a hitter.
He said training an animal and a human are the same.
Same exact thing.
You can use glue things you put in glue sticks as a whip, PVC piping, an
Typewriters.
old-fashioned switch. Typewriters in your family. The ribbon, you can strangle somebody with it.
A carriage.
Duggars, they don't call the beatings. It's encouragement.
Yes, it's encouragement.
Push you the right way.
The whole blanket training, because it made me like think of it. My niece came over and she has an infant or toddler infant. He's only 6 months. No, he's 8 now. Oh, Eleanor, you're fucking up. But she put the blanket on and the baby was on the blanket. And I was like, now I'm going to be like, I'm going to put a toy. I just learned a new blanket trick, Nicole. You're going to love it.
Here's this church, or whatever the hell this thing, IBLP training for a baby. You put a
IVF.
6-month-old baby on the blanket. Then you put their favorite like toy or blanket, whatever they want, just right off of the
Right off
blanket.
to the side.
They reach for
You
it.
go, oh, I love that.
You got to hit them. And that's to
That's
get
how
rid
it
of the
goes.
temptations we're all born with.
That's right. It's
Beat it
to
out of them at a young age.
Strip them of their will.
Oh, yes.
That's frightening.
You got to beat those. Imagine hitting a
Beat those.
6-month-old kid.
No,
You're
that's
a
awful.
maniac.
That's fucking crazy. That's insane.
The Duggar, they have a guide to love. They had an episode where you do side hugs, and it's every day to chaperone, which is a lot of fun.
Just a side hug so you can get some side boob.
Yeah, let me chaperone my son who's already done shit.
Look, I'll have my son be the role model.
Ugh.
Has he molested half the family? Yes, but he's changed because he built a house
and
somewhere.
he was eye trapped.
He was eye trapped.
You got to save kissing
But-
for the wedding, which is it's a good way to approach things, I think.
Yes, I believe in saving myself for marriage.
Kissing for marriage. It's the lamest of the lame.
I'm doing it now. I'm saving myself.
Do you like when they showed the clip of Jim Bob giving the Kama Sutra for Christians book to his son? Like that was basically what it was. And it had one sexual position, and it said that hand jobs should be available at all times. And Jim Bob tells his son.
That's nervous laughter, by the way.
Jim Bob tells his son about sex. It's kind of like Legos. Like your hair is kind of like Legos, you fucking idiot. That's the worst sexual analogy I've ever heard in my life. Legos, nothing goes in anything else. It just snaps. What the fuck are
It's
you talking
missionary.
about?
Legos are very missionary.
What is he talking about? And
One
by the way,
piece in the other.
when
That
he's-
is it.
when
No
he's-
other holes.
when he's telling Josh this, Josh was already a monster.
Oh,
and
yeah.
Jim Bob knows that, and he's doing this bullshit on TV like, well, let me teach you about kissing.
And his
son."
girlfriend's just like, I'll wait, but I think it's going to go fast because he really wants a kiss.
The Lego,
That's what she said.
The Lego foundation of fucking from Jim Bob. Disgusting.
What if they get Legos and they draw faces on
I want to see Jim Bob. I want to see the Jim Bob sex tape.
Ooh.
Oh, Jim Bob, I'm having so much fun.
She's just wearing her apron. She's just
Wearing her
she's gotta-
pantaloons.
She's got to get up and
crying.
cook as soon as he gets his nut out.
She's weeping into her mullet.
Hope you know your fractions.
Josh marries this lucky lady named Anna. Good for her.
So happy.
Children can be spanked into adulthood. Wives can too,
I
by the
believe
way.
that.
You can spank your wife in this religion. Not sexually either. Just
No, not the
discipline.
fun way.
Disciplinary.
This is like, oh, is she not listening?
If you forget to say yes, sir, or my lord when talking to your husband, that leads to discipline.
My lord.
You can be put in the corner, and sex can be part of the punishment, which is a good way to teach sex stuff to people.
Yeah, it's a good way to make people crazy and repressed. Yeah, I think so.
I'd say so.
Yeah.
Mike Huckabee's PR guy, this dude Chad Gallagher, I think he's related to Gallagher the comic. Like, great.
I hope so. He's
Smashing watermelons.
Smarshing watermelon.
He went into PR, got out of the watermelon game, got into PR.
Yeah.
He forces two of the Duggar sisters who had the allegations to go on Megyn Kelly
Okay, I don't get at all.
to
This
downplay.
is where I got angry and I was like,
to downplay the incident. It was under duress though.
but you 100%, and you could hear them being like,
It was very scripted.
I don't want my brother to get in trouble.
Yeah, they're like, it was not a big
because
deal.
It was like over the clothes, and we didn't even know.
And Gallagher's like, let me stop smashing
Zero
this watermelon.
information.
Great job, girls. And Jim Bob's like, that's how we do it. TLC, though, still canceled the show.
And they changed it to cover up.
And Jim Bob is outraged because he needs his monthly check.
He's like, this is bullshit, guys.
So he goes, you know what we do? We're focusing on Jill and the other older kids and their families.
We'll prove to you that their molestation did not hurt the family at all.
This guy couldn't lose his check.
No.
Fucking Joe Jackson couldn't let Michael stop dancing.
He's got a giant house to upkeep.
He's got the tater tots to buy.
Right? Kids.
Violins.
Yeah.
All the clothes.
Yeah, that's a lot.
All the clothes, they must have just a Walmart in their house of secondhand
I feel
clothes.
like she makes them.
Oh, she's knitting? He's like, you better knit, bitch, or I'll spank you. Put you in the corner. That's me in the corner.
Losing my religion.
Yeah, it should be. If she was smart.
I wish you would get in the corner. And
What'd you
lose
think of the episode they showed a clip of the Duggars do Asia? Very racist. They're in
Okay.
geisha makeup. I'm like, this is overtly racist.
No reason at all for that.
Jim Bob is
And
they're
then
like,
it came back.
And then there was a voiceover. It's like, Jim Bob is the Shogun. It was like a gong, and he was dressed in like a kimono. I was like, this is overt
What's happening?
racism. Why is this on TV?
I rewound it like 6 times because I was like,
and the
did
girls
they
are like
just
wearing
show-
white makeup, and they're like, oh, we've never been to Asia before. And the Asians were just staring. I'm like, what the fuck are these?
He's stopping
weirdos?
people in the street like, oh, what is your faith? And they're like, oh, I don't really believe it. Like,
Yeah, he's trying to be a missionary.
he's trying to recruit.
He's like, you guys are good at having kids. Like, we've seen that.
Yeah,
From
1
the
billion.
numbers. say we start getting him into what I'm into.
Listen, and then we
Then we all go to
really-
Jacksonville. fill the city up.
Jacksonville's huge.
Jacksonville
guys.
must be just so empty, just waiting for all the people.
I wonder if people move there. Like, there's so much room.
Jesus,
here.
all these buildings are empty. When is everyone coming?
Ow.
Jim Bob gave Jill's number to the potential the Derek guy
Yeah.
because they were prayer partners.
Yeah,
He
Aaron
approached Jim
Rodgers'
Bob.
kid. Yeah, the religious Aaron Rodgers.
He's like, Jim
Yeah.
Bob, I want to be your prayer partner. That sounds like a fun partnership.
I think it's a great idea to have a prayer partner.
So Jim Bob's like, you know what? My daughter Jill, she knows how to keep her mouth shut. She's
Remember
proven
Comedy
that.
Buddies?
What's that?
Like another comic that you would go to shows with when you first started?
I don't have any friends. The goth teaches the father is responsible for the purity of the daughter up until the point of marriage.
Yes, and then
T.I. got in trouble. Remember he said that? He said something like that on his show.
oh yeah, is he on TLC too?
He's a comedian.
No, I know who he is.
Great comedian.
But what didn't they have a show?
He had a reality show, was not TLC.
Okay.
I feel like if I say BET, it sounds racist, but I think
It's 100%
I think it's
racist.
BET. I think it is.
What about Bravo?
They don't do a lot of black shows.
That's so rude.
They have a Real Housewives of like Atlanta. They have some of those, but I don't think they do any.
What was it on? Is Jeff racist?
T.I. and Tiny, The Family Hustle. Let's see what it
I
is.
don't-
VH1.
Huh?
VH1.
VH1. I knew it was like a music-y, but not BET.
Both Viacom. I was close.
Okay.
How dare you?
Under the same umbrella, Ella.
The umbrella of protection.
No devil in here. We're under the umbrella.
Jim Bob has his. She's just about to get married. What's Jim Bob do? He hands her. He's like, sign this. She has no idea what it is. Thinking about other stuff. Signs it.
He's
Whoop,
like,
there we go.
I always sign stuff for my daddy.
Signs it. Well, turns out it wasn't a good move by her. Jim Bob gets all the money for the reality show, even though the girls and the women were the big draw. No
Yeah.
one cared about Jim Bob or any of the boys. It was
Yeah.
all the girls.
No interest at all.
Jill never got $1.
This is the only time the boys didn't excel.
No. But Jill got no money for doing the show
Zero.
ever,
Yeah.
which is crazy.
Again, it's like the slave labor thing. Like even those groups, I forgot the acronyms already or whatever.
Yeah, it's
but
all acronyms.
I forgot what
the
they were.
IBLP?
Yeah, IBLP. The people would pay to be in those to then work like
You
that.
get sent to a work camp
That's crazy.
as a kid.
It's like,
Then
hey, I
they
want to
showed
pay to work.
They have a militia of homeschooled boys that they're like trying to
Oh
push.
yeah. They kept showing them.
He's like
I was
they have like a
poor
military branch, which isn't good. It's not great.
a lot.
They show the
of
goth. He's
charges brought against him.
Goth's leading a real opulent lifestyle
Yeah.
while he's preaching like, oh, you guys shouldn't, money's evil, blah, blah. This guy's
Yeah.
living great. High on the hog.
Yeah, he's probably got a jet. It's like the show Danny McBride,
The Gemstone.
The Gemstones.
John
so
Goodman.
Fucking funny. So fucking funny.
I know a guy who writes on that.
Oh, dude, it's hilarious. I mean, they must watch this and rub one out and be like, we got 6 more seasons.
They're like, we got to go back, watch some old episodes.
Yeah, this is amazing.
The goth started influencing politics, which is good because he has some good thinking.
Sure.
The CEO of Hobby Lobby is IBLP's biggest donor.
They're always in trouble, Hobby Lobby. I remember I went to buy something. They were like, you can't.
Who sees this and he's like,
What they do? I didn't know, but now I know.
they're
Sorry, I'll never
into
go
this
again.
shit. You can buy pantaloons there in the aisle 6.
I'll go to Michael's like a person.
They say this teaching has gotten so big in, like, I think probably I would say the South.
Yeah.
It's been used in public schools. Private prisons are starting to use some of this shit.
This is great. Oh, the prison was
How great.
great.
One guy goes, the guy's like all tatted up, a white guy.
Yeah.
Like, this is why I came to prison, for these teachings I'm learning right now. That's why? You could have learned all that shit outside, you fucking moron.
What did you do to get in?
He's like, what? He's like, thank God I'm here. What a fucking
Because
jeez.
as he's like stabbing somebody or raping somebody, I just need the religion.
He's like, stop with the eye traps. I'm learning. They're spreading this shit into the military and the
Holy
police.
shit.
It's just getting like,
that's what I'm saying. That's
like a disease.
This was the scary part. Like it was like, oh,
now they have training centers all over the world for this.
everywhere. They
bullshit.
kept showing the map and it was popping up anywhere but Jacksonville, but it was popping up. It definitely was.
Jim Bob, the son-in-law, Derek,
Mm-hmm.
Aaron Rodgers, and Jill are like, we're done with the show. We don't want to do it anymore.
Yeah.
Jim Bob offered the son-in-law $10 an hour.
That's right.
$10 an hour to come back and film the show on the one that replaced 19 Kids and Counting because it got canceled because his oldest son was a pedophile, which he covered up. $10 an hour. He should have stabbed Jim Bob right through his heart like a vampire.
Unbelievable. Sickening.
Give you $10 an hour, Derek. Take it or leave it. I'd be like, you piece of shit, Jim Bob. I'm gonna choke
But
you.
they had no idea what he was pulling in either.
You gotta have it. Something bigger than $10 an hour.
Of course. And they lived not. That means they didn't live high on the hog.
No, he
but-
wasn't driving like a Lamborghini, but
Right,
he's
but they
not
were-
driving a piece of shit either.
But they got electricity in that giant house.
They're paying for 10 loads of laundry
Yeah.
a day.
That's a lot of water.
Violins are keep coming in.
Violins are expensive.
They said in this religion, the oldest male where you are is in charge of children. So it's like wherever you go, the oldest male is in charge, which is it's an insane.
So women, you're not capable of
And also,
anything.
age doesn't always equal with. Like it's not always like, oh, well, that old guy knows what's up.
You're just here to catch loads, do loads.
Jim
I'm
Bob.
done with
Make
that.
$10 an hour. Did you like Goth's brother, Steve?
Yeah, Steve.
Steve Gothard in 1980 used his position to sexually harass women, coerce, and perform sex acts on them.
What?
What did Bill do? He
Learned.
sends him to a campus that had less oversight than the one that he left.
Yeah, right.
He's like, we need people are too strict over here. Let's
Yeah,
send
you guys
Steve.
are crazy.
Send my brother Steve over here where you can have a real fun.
Steve, you can help out, can't you?
They said girls who disobeyed the main guy, got sent to his brother Steve as a punishment. This is insane. You can't make this shit
It's
up.
ridiculous. So I'm saying
Insanity.
this is where I was tagging out. I literally was like losing consciousness. I was like, I can't do this. I can't.
Bill wanted to keep
This
his
is
brother
really bad.
in the group by marrying him off to a woman in the group, which is a nice move. for
Sure, let's
that-
keep it tight, family knit.
that lady. God said you can't gossip, which basically meant you can't report sexual improprieties.
What are you doing?
He's
guys?
like, no more gossip.
Are you crazy?
Stop talking about Steve, all right?
Gossip is sacrilegious.
Steve's on a new campus.
You must obey and submit to Steve and I. I mean, to the Lord.
Jesus. Sorry to make you bow your head.
I already have a crick in my neck from you. This whole thing.
Goth, he chooses girls who ride in his van, which is he uses the old-fashioned
And don't
molester
you-
wagon.
Don't you bring any of those devil sticks in here
When
either.
they're
Those
wearing
are
skirts,
tampons,
they-
in case anybody wanted to know.
They said his hands would wander up skirts quite often in the van.
Is that a snake? Oh, nope. Just
It's just a
Steve.
creepy, crypt old man hand.
You have a spider on your vagina. Whoa.
God says if you don't cry out to God during a sexual assault, you're at fault.
the problem.
And if you're assaulted, you gain spiritual power, which is a weird message. Very
And then the one
mixed.
girl goes, and my heart broke for her because I get it. She was young. She didn't understand. She goes, I was actually jealous of my friends that were sexually assaulted because I felt like God needed them and not me.
What a bizarre message to put into a religion. We were like, you know what? We need to make a
And they're like,
backdoor.
why is your hair pink? Why is she still here? Like,
How
it's
are
crazy.
any of them still like
A lot,
surviving?
yeah.
At this
Surviving
point?
at all. I mean, they must be in therapy round the clock. These
A lot,
poor
yeah,
kids.
a lot. And I think for the rest of their lives, probably.
Chad has a great. Chad was my favorite.
Who's Chad?
with
The
dark
guy
hair.
with oh no, the guy with the long
Yeah,
hair.
the
I know you're
like
talking about.
Bob kind of haircut. He's like, okay, how long's your program? He was so nervous.
Goth eventually gets taken out of power because he got too crazy.
And
Security had to remove him from his own event.
that's like being kicked out of a rock and roll band for drinking too much.
They're
Like
like,
it was just like
Goth,
you're a lot. You're
You
really,
and Steve, it's gotten too crazy. So who
The Duggars are fine.
who takes over for Goth?
Old Jim Bob.
Jim Bob and his wife become the new figureheads.
Oh, this is so cool that we're the boss of everybody.
the IBLP. Don't talk about Jim Gothard or Steve.
That's gossip, guys, and that's blasphemy.
So we're on the home stretch here. Josh gets taken in for having the child porn on his computer at his car lot. He has a used car lot, apparently. The cop
Everything's
said it was
used.
some of the
Everything's
most-
used for them.
Said it was some of the most horrific things he's ever seen in terms of images in his life, which is great. Good job, Jim Bob. You raised a good one. Jim Bob says he doesn't remember his own daughter's abuse. He doesn't remember.
What?
Doesn't recall.
Yeah.
That was in
way
court.
He's doing it like a mobster. Like not
His
even.
answers
I
in
plead
court
the
were,
fifth.
I don't recall. I don't remember.
And
That was a
also very
long time
political.
ago.
That's very political.
Yes.
That was a long time ago. I don't recall.
So he perjured himself in court, but they didn't go after him.
Mm-hmm.
Jim Bob's running for Arkansas Senate
I
while his
smoked.
son was on trial for child pornography.
I smoked, but I didn't inhale. A lot of that happens in Arkansas.
Yes. It's not a good I don't know. But he lost his Senate run, I guess, having your son on trial. It's not good.
No.
So then there's this thing. I heard about this recently on the radio. I'd never heard about this in my life. The Joshua generation.
No, but kind of fucked up on the name. Yeah, like if we're gonna name it.
That's
something.
true. You're gonna name him after the Duggar.
Joshua generate. Oh, not the Joshua that went to jail for child porn. This is a different.
He
Joshua.
is a part of it, though. So they want to raise up an elite strike force of homeschooled kids to get in government to make the country more religious, right? Which is going on as we speak.
And to be honest, I mean that they're kind of winning. They did overturn Roe v. Wade in certain states, I believe.
They do hate the Jews.
Of course, they hate the Jews. Let's bring it back to the Jews. Let's never think about women.
Women first.
Of any kind.
But the Jews also need help as well.
I get it. But we are a little lower on the totem pole. A little insecure.
Jed Duggar, I don't know where he is in the family. He was running for government in 2020. The Duggars are really trying to get into politics.
They're really going with this thing of like, we're going to take over this militia, if you will. Like, we have to get into every corner, every crevice, and there's enough of us to do it.
I voted for multiple Duggars.
Me too. A Huckabee.
I have an address in Arkansas just for.
What happened to Huckabee? Did he
He's still around.
I feel like I've seen the name.
Remember that movie I Heart Huckabee? It was
yes.
It was his biopic. That's did you like the Christian influencers who were popping up based off
amazing TikTok wins again.
These influencers were the fucking worst. The guy and his girlfriend were the fucking pits.
And if you're gay, you're do you wrong. You can't be a they. You can't be a them.
But they dressed like they were like hipsters. Like, we're cool. But then what they said was like such backward shit.
Did it say JB behind their head, like, or BJ?
She's like, the role of the wife is to submit to the husband. Ooh, that's a scary word.
Ooh, submit, scary. Yeah, it is scary, you dumb bitch.
And she's doing.
It is scary to submit to your husband. And when these people regain consciousness, we're not fucking helping you. We're going to do what the religion does to you. Put you in a room with the fucking Bible by yourself.
I'm a Christian.
I'm so sorry. I'm so angry.
Josh Duggar found guilty. Down. You know how many years of prison he got?
How many? I do know.
One of his favorite numbers. 12 years.
That's the age he gets in on?
Goes in for 12. I looked it up. His wife stays with him. Originally was like, I'm going to move out of Arkansas, move back to be close to Jim Bob.
Yeah, because like, that brainwashing
stay
is
on
tough.
close.
It's the documentary we did, the Sarah Lawrence, that brainwashing kind of shit, where it took that girl so long to get out of it. So
you know
what
they call child molesters in prison?
Heroes?
Chomos. That's Chomos, and that Jared from Subway got attacked. They hate him.
Oh, that's right. Good.
You're the lowest of the low. Even among like people who are like done horrific shit, like murder. They cut you ear to mouth as a sign
to
show, and then they attack you. And I hope this guy gets.
There's a totem pole in every aspect of life,
every society,
every single society, and that's.
And old Jim Bob's son's the lowest of the low. Good job, Jim Bob and Michelle.
I kind of love that. I kind of do like that. And it sucks that, I think murderers and rapists are like, hey, you're a fucking problem.
Look at Dahmer. He got dealt with.
Yes, he did. He was an eater, though. He was more of a foodie.
Yeah.
He wasn't much of a pedophile.
They end with 5 women are suing IBLP and the Goth. They said the statute of limitations and the suit got dismissed.
Yeah.
He's such a good guy that he countersued the women for $18,000 apiece.
Yes.
This guy's richer than.
He's like, I'm gonna get you for $18,000.
What a scumbag.
And they were like, we don't have that kind of money. We should bail out.
What a piece of shit.
It's awful.
Ginger Duggar, spelled with a J. That's not even a real name. Ginger with a J. They ran out.
What number is she?
They ran Ginger with a J. Jim Bob, Ginger. You stupid fucking moron.
Hey, they were homeschooled.
Ginger with a J.
In their class, it was a J.
Ginger. She's gotten out. She's out as well. She wrote a book, a tell-all.
Yeah.
But not one other Duggar did this series except for Jill. I give credit to Jill.
I do too.
For speaking out.
I give credit to them for all speaking out, especially you're young and you're just fucking brainwashed. I am mad at the TikTokers. Of course, TikTok wins again.
You're a TikToker.
Everybody's I'm a TikToker. I'm a big TikToker. I'm famous on there.
Are you?
No one looks at my videos. Well, I got a few, but not.
I took an acting class once with this guy who introduced himself as being Insta famous. This guy was what a tool. He was the worst.
Insta famous.
You know what
like
he would do?
Instagram.
This guy had like
Instagram.
He had like 50-pack abs, and it was just him and his cats in like his boxer briefs.
Okay.
And that's like it was all his videos. And this guy would.
They do love cats.
This guy had the audacity in class to give me advice on like comedy.
Yes.
And comedic acting, and I almost killed him. I was like, "Don't fucking talk to me about this, you idiot."
I vaguely remember you telling
Go
me.
pose with your
this.
cats, bitch. That's what I said to him. I said, Brian Holtzman told me to tell you this. Go pose with your fucking
It's
cats.
always a cat. It's always just some dumb shit. But I will be honest.
The guy makes a living.
I have seen some of these videos, but they're always like what they call stitched. So it's like you'll see like if you're gay, and then somebody will interrupt and be like, "Yes, I'm gay, and I'm not possessed by the devil," or whatever. They like counter. What's the word?
Program?
I don't know that they like.
They're countering
debate. Debate what?
Counterpoint.
Thank you.
But this is how we do debate now, is via TikTok.
TikTok. That's what I mean. Like
the world's in a good
incoming
place.
stitch, it'll say, and then it's like somebody saying, actually that person is mentally unstable, and I'm like, so am I. I'm watching TikTok.
Yeah, why are you taking part of this?
Sometimes you can't fall asleep, and I just scroll, and then I'm like, this is the worst idea to scroll like this because I'm seeing the dumbest shit. And I'm ordering like castor oil in the middle of the night. It's not. It's like the new infomercial. You remember when you would be like you couldn't. Well, I am old, but sorry. I remember when I first moved to LA, like staying up late night and watch. There was all these infomercials, and it's like if you buy this, it'll help your life and whatever it was, like a way to sit up straight.
Tony Robbins.
Something crazy like that. And then I did this horrible infomercial.
Is there footage? I'd like to see that.
Oh,
Johnny,
I hope
you got
not.
that?
I don't remember the name of the law company.
Oh, you did a law office?
Yeah.
Well, you're like 188,
and
888,
they fucking
888.
played it on on ESPN, and I was mortified.
What year?
94.
I gotta see if I can find that.
It's awful.
I'm gonna hire a private detective.
Either my friend Gabrielle or Lisa hooked me up with it. I don't remember.
What were you doing in the ad?
I was just talking about how great the law firm is. Call 1-800 like that.
What was it? Was like, have you been hurt in a car accident, that sort of thing?
Kind of. Not a Larry H. Parker, that's big time. But this is like along those lines. And they paid me $100. I had to go to the Valley to do it. And I didn't have a license. I never really drove in Philly. I moved to LA with no license. And my friend Lisa let me her, what's that called? LeBaron? That kind of car. What is the name of it? It was a convertible.
LeBaron.
Is that right? Okay. I thought I was saying another name with it, but it's a LeBaron, and it was a Chrysler, right? And the top came down, so I had the top down. I'm listening to Snoop Dogg, and I'm trying to focus on going over Laurel Canyon.
With no license.
Nothing.
With no license, you probably have the top on.
But also, no, 100%.
Just to
show the confidence.
Yeah, a little.
That like, guys, I'm obviously.
That's
a great driver.
A little bit of swagger.
I got a lot of.
Had you ever driven?
No.
Never driven.
Not that long.
That was your debut?
That was my debut, right over Laurel Canyon.
And you like, let's blare some Snoop Dogg.
I also couldn't read the dashboard. Like, as far as like, I was like, which one is the speedometer? Like, it was like that.
You're like, why? I'm going 97.5?
It was that.
You're reading the FM dial.
I drove like in a parking lot.
Drove stolen cars a few times.
No. Like my sister Kathleen would be like, she took me, I remember, to a parking lot, and she goes, all right, you just killed 30 people.
My dad did that, but he didn't tell me that the empty spaces were cars. You can't tell. I go, how am I supposed to know?
Over them.
You didn't set the parameters.
Right.
He goes, you just hit that
she goes,
car.
You're
There's not a
supposed
car.
to know that.
There's no one there.
How would I know that?
The same exact driving school.
It was bad. But so I just would get frustrated, and then I was going to get a license, and my sister Karen took me, and she was not happy that day, and it just didn't work out.
She's a Karen.
She's a carrot. And it just didn't work out, so I never got it. So I moved to LA, and it was like, you have to have a car.
Did you do
here.
driver's ed in LA?
No, but when
were you an adult doing like driving hours with some teacher?
Amazing. No, I
I've
didn't
seen
do it.
people. You have a license now?
Yeah, of course. But
how'd you get a license?
I just took the test, and
you don't have to do the actual driving? What?
Yeah, you do the
I
driving.
mean, you don't have to do the hours that like teenagers do?
No.
Why? You don't
Because
know how
I
to
was
drive.
over 21.
You still know how to drive.
I guess they assumed my frontal lobe was developed. I don't know.
I've seen grown-ups where I live.
I got my license when I was 24.
I've seen adults who like I think they've moved here from somewhere else, but they're doing they're doing drivers. Maybe they want to. 'Cause
Maybe they just
confident.
want to because it's LA, but I hit everything my first year driving.
Maybe you should have done those hours. Just saying. Maybe not a bad idea.
No, I didn't hit. I did have a lot of accidents because but every one wasn't my fault. Like, the like people make left turns and they do it like a little too. You're like, oh.
Something tells me though you were
hit the
causing
back of my
things
car.
that you didn't know
they
you were
hit the back of my car.
But you probably stopped. You probably were doing something.
One of them was my fault, and it was my brother Jimmy's rental car, and he was with me.
Was he?
Sorry,
pissed?
Jim. No, he goes, they just brought me a new one.
Is he your brother who can fix cars?
Anything.
He put some weird mirror on your car that wasn't from your car?
100%. I have a 2018, and he put a 2020 or a 2021 mirror that has the blinker on there.
But weren't there like
on
wires?
one side,
just like
yeah.
hanging
I go, Jim. He goes, I had to take the door apart because these wires didn't connect, so I just, put them in where they did connect, and then left the ones that don't connect out. It's still like that.
Kerrigan
Yeah.
Innovations.
It's good times. Thanks, Jim. But he can fix it. He's like,
So the wires
don't
still-
drive across the country like that again. I was like, okay. So now
Well,
I'm driving with this ghetto kind of not really connected.
How does he know how to do that? Because I can't do anything.
Jimmy's, I don't, since he's born,
I can't change a tire.
I can do that.
You can change a tire? I should
Yeah.
have called you the other day. I got a flat.
But he did. I had to rent a car. This is only a couple weeks ago, and he did. I panicked. I didn't know because it was a rent a car. So I was like calling AAA, and of course I called Jimmy first because I was in Philly.
He's your AAA.
So he goes, well, bring the car here. I go, I can't because it's like, I think it's on the rim already, and it's a rental, and I don't want to. And he goes, all right. So he showed up. He put air in it. He made me drive forward, backwards. He goes, right here, you got a slow leak. I'm like, how do you know that? He poured water over it, which I would have never thought
of. You got to see where the bubbles are. I know that. I can't change it.
I didn't know.
I've been taught by people who are in the know.
He goes, it's a slow leak. So if you want to drive to New York, you can. And I go, I'm not going to risk that. So he goes, I'll just put the donut on then. And then I go, I'll just cancel my New York shows. And he goes, don't cancel. You could drive to New York on a donut. So I did.
That's a pretty long distance.
Awful. It's the worst thing to do.
They advise you
You
not to
can't
do
go over
that.
30 miles an hour. I was doing 65 because I couldn't figure out where the speedometer was.
Jesus. You guys need to open a driver's ed / automotive
But I was
shop.
fine. And then the next day, I went to the tire place. They patched it up, and I gave the rent-a-car back.
I got a flat the other day. I had to call AAA, which is people try to shame you for it as a man.
Yeah,
I'm helping the economy.
By calling AAA?
Yeah, keeping somebody in
Okay.
a job.
Yeah.
What do you want, AI to take it over, Eleanor?
Well, $35 a year. Yeah, that's really helping the economy. These
I'm
guys
a
are living
member-
large, I
I'm a
bet.
member of a group. That's my church of IBLP. AAA.
It's your Judaism?
I'm with my whole family.
Coming out.
I'm too old to learn. It's too late. No one taught
That's
me.
not true.
It's too late.
I'll
I'll drop the car. I'll hurt myself. Something will go wrong.
I don't do it because I'm afraid, but I understand the jack. I know how to do it, and I did watch my brother and think I should have helped, but
you pretend. That's what I do. You kind of hover near, and you're like,
it was Jimmy. He knows if Jimmy's there, it's fine. If
Will
the
he
world's
fly out?
ending and Jimmy's there, you're fine.
really?
You'll be fine.
He's like the guy in The Last of Us?
Yeah, whatever you need. We always like Bruce Willis. Like
What's that actor's name that everyone's in love with?
I don't know, but we used to tease him and say he was Bruce Willis.
What, does he look like him?
Well, he's just bald, I guess, but they don't really look
Your only
alike.
connection. Okay.
But you know how Bruce Willis isn't like you don't look at him and go, oh, this guy could save the world.
Yeah,
but yet he plays all those parts.
He's an everyman.
Jimmy. Yeah, exactly.
Is Jimmy having any sort of degenerative brain issues?
No, why did you say that?
Bruce Willis.
What's wrong with
I
you?
didn't know how strong.
Dare you?
You know how strong the connection
No,
was.
you want me to call him right now?
No, I don't want beef with Jimmy. Johnny already said
Johnny, you can have beef.
No, but he
with
said
it.
I can be attacked if I go to Philly.
You can have beef with GQ Johnny, you'll be fine. But if you get Disco Jimmy,
Joe
you're
Rogan
in trouble.
advised Don Barris not to mess with your brother
Because of his
Jimmy.
calves.
I have big calves as well.
Not like Jimmy.
We could have a calf off.
Oh, this is good, John. This will be fun. Johnny Facts could tell you.
Well, how big are his calves? Measured around.
I'll have to get
24 inches?
measure around. You want Jimmy to measure them?
Yeah, I do. Then I'll measure mine.
I'll
What
have
if his
to
are like
ask.
3 times the size of
I
mine?
have to ask. I'll have to ask him to.
He's got 24-inch Hulk Hogan.
My brother-in-law's like, we have the same calves, and his are smaller than mine, my brother-in-law's. And I don't know why.
Did you all beat him as a
We were
family?
laughing hysterically. We're like, don't say that in front of him. He'll kill you. You married his goddaughter. Like, oh, that's the other thing. They in this Duggar family, I don't know if they had that, but like my mom ran out of friends, so Tommy and Karen are Bobby's godparents, and then Jimmy and Kathleen are Edie's godparents.
Well, godparents just means you raise the kids if
Which
the
is what
parents
Kathleen said she had to do anyway.
die.
And my mom was there.
Jews, we don't do godparents.
Right. I get it.
It's not our thing.
I get it. Right.
We just go, you die, you're on your own.
You're on your own, bitch.
Good luck. We're out. All right, we're going to get out.
Yeah, we went long. Sorry.
Come
but
see
this-
us in Covina. We should
Covina,
lead with
Laugh
that,
Factory. Yeah, I forgot. But I've been promoting it a lot
Eleanor will be
online.
fixing flat tires in the parking lot before and
Just
after.
looking to meet a nice man that would let a girl fix a flat tire.
If you were in my neighborhood, if you were in my area recently, I would have let you do mine.
No, all the guys are like, you sit down. I'll fix this.
Not this guy.
I'll get Courtney correct. I'll
All
get
right.
her a guy.
Goodbye, everybody. Fuck you, Jim Bob.
I thought you were saying Jimmy, my
No.
brother. What are you,
What are
fucking
you-
crazy?
Yeah,
what do
I'm
you
not
got, a
doing
death
it.
wish?
Jimmy, I apologize for the Bruce Willis question.
Jim Bob,
And your
I
calves are
apologize
bigger
for
than
that
mine.
part.
Take out my brush.
Don't you dare brush your hair. I'm going to throw up. Ew.
Good night, everybody.